Sana who follow a year and yeah.
Yeah.
I brand them as I desire some beer waka. Or say next season. Going forward no. On a born wabubida and Chelsea is wabubi. And ne observation I want yet for Chelsea team no ho. I say one. Muni center back and mudu. Into Munkupi. Goalkeeper Munibi. Munkupi goalkeeper. And then him Honso no. You need a prolific striker. Striker chance in a bar ya no. Obobodi ato at least a move 5 for bar bear 3 media and now 2B. Obetumi dia to net na bibia ayekama. And then players and they say almost penny for no. The next Chelsea manager no should be an experienced manager and no be akeke.
I don't think Chelsea needs an experienced manager.
Sa munya manager be
Obi Onimejuma. Na
che adwuma no so woni ma yen na the experience ne ba no.
Oh Debbie. Obi Onuma say or a young person. And I always say that in life opportunities can make Obi Onimejuma look like Sebi Oyakwa. You understand? I always use myself as an example. When I was starting this job, I'd not really done this job to any level at all. Yeah. It was just me 1 or 2 Saturday cameos, Zando, so bra, Focus FM up and down. Now look at what the Lord has done.
Yeah.
And if it's just about experience, one share, we better limit the scope of the quality that you have to bring in. And to add to the things that you are seeing now, you're discussing, just a couple of minutes ago, and Fabrizio Romano a tweet. Now Fabrizio tweets now, you know. Niauka tweets him and say Enzo remains the clear top candidate to become the next Manchester City manager if/when Pep leaves. Timing only depends on Guardiola, but Manchester City FC see Maresca as the ideal candidate.
Wow.
Yeah. When Maresca was coming to Chelsea, he had not coached Arsenal, no coaching Madrid, no coaching Bayern for Leverkusen in that matter. He had only coached in the Italian lower divisions. And now, what about Leicester City? And why the assistant to Pep Guardiola? Before that, no City developmental team. So, when Maresca came in, almost everybody that did not agree with the thought on what Maresca could do, no, kept on saying, Enzo Maresca, nyade, no, you're rookie. For this is a name that a lot of people gave Enzo Maresca. And I remember say vehemently, not the BMB tactical board anymore. Say, for me, there's nothing like a rookie manager if you know your job. It doesn't matter where you are. They can take you to wherever. Or you're journalist, analyst, or you're top. They can put you on CBS, Golas, or whatever. The world's eye will be looking at you. When you start talking, everybody know this guy is good. If you are not good and you are experienced, people know that you are not good. So for me, it's about the quality. And because say Chelsea and Shane here, they will go onto the market thinking that you hear just the word experience. But what experience in the last few years has proven said that is not the real problem. Ali Garnacho is experienced in the English Premier League. But look at the performances.
Young but experience or
yes.
Penny or experience.
Yeah. Inter say so it's also almost experienced coach. Now make say and you say experience. Mauricio Pochettino was experienced. Before Graham Potter for Chelsea, you are not experienced. Oh, Brighton and Hove Albion. Of course, there are levels to being experienced. Yeah. So Pochettino was more experienced than him. Gone to the Champions League final, coach Espanyol. He had seen it all. Played for Paris Saint-Germain, played for Espanyol. I mean, well-traveled coach. But he did not succeed. When you look at the stories of the recent coaches who are very successful, for me, one thing cuts across. From the very first day they walk into the room, you know that this is a charismatic person. And for me, the very first thing you need to look at is that so Chelsea now go market go pay coach about that person should exude a lot of confidence. It was the first thing that made me who Enzo Maresca want to make a chairman was now this is a top draw guy. Because Rich, confidence will be a team max even your frailties. So we are a little bit jittery. It's easy for people to pick you apart. But Maresca was very confident. He walked into the room. He showed that he's good. Now, once you get the confidence and the aura and the personality, then you back it up with your results. Chelsea, for 2 hours ago, Oma posted a video of Chelsea beating Barcelona 3-0. Last season, Barcelona caught Champions League semi-final. Before that, Chelsea had beaten Paris Saint-Germain, the champions of Europe. That is the level we are talking about. And nobody can tell you that Maresca Juma or Becca said this wasn't a good coach. Yes, even if you bring the most experienced coach to the job, they are blefs. But I think there is something that Chelsea have to change at Chelsea before they bring in the new manager. So I've made one point established. I'm not too keen about experience. You should be good enough. Yeah? Luis de la Fuente has not coached any club that I have known at the top level. But what Luis de la Fuente has done with the Spanish national team, I don't mind giving De La Fuente time after the World Cup.
Is it not because we have had the ranks and file of the national team? Because from the youth level, the senior side, you know the players.
No, but this is not a youth level. The youth level, nobody really uses for anything. Nobody are too enthused about the youth level. Because Maresca had won the PL2 with the youth.
Okay.
But that doesn't really matter. But Nyamika say, De La Fuente before Spain Ejumano. You realize that this is a coach that's good. Orunejuma. Or Boshe, the players speak highly of him. So you realize, okay, this is a good manager. And again, on the touchline, he looks the part, which is very important in modern day coaching. Yeah, Emobia Nadao, optics is very important in everything. I've said it several times. As a science person, the other field I've fallen in love with is marketing, and it's about optics and how you present things. And the leader appointed does it again. Julian Nagelsmann, after Leipzig and then Bayern Munich, and then of course the German national team. Top manager, you can bring him in. It doesn't have to be just say, once a year you narrow down or search.
So what the coaches maybe?
Oh yeah, I've heard
Xabi Alonso, Nagelsmann, Fabregas.
Yeah.
There's this more former player called Brazil.
Felipe Luis, Flamengo.
Yeah, Felipe Luis.
Yeah.
Yes, one also.
Yeah. So all the criteria and the money now be apart from Alonso.
Experience.
Yes, Fabregas experience near Como. And I see Como experience in here, the real experience that we need. Open experience now. Felipe Luis is Flamengo essentially. I don't know if that is enough of respect. That's what I'm saying, that the coach should be good. Say Casadena, it's only Xabi Alonso who has coached at a top club. Bayern Munich and Madrid.
Why I would prefer Omufano?
I don't have any name. It's not what I think Chelsea should look out for. Okay. It shouldn't just be experience. It should be it can be any of these, but it should be good enough. How do you want to play? Does it fit it? Does it have the personality? And again,
so we ensure weekend power sports ana yatnasia yadi bro Jumadie every Sabia kopim say 12 o'clock babo ana yama wonsa akana etumi ayekama enti yenya ba fronia na ka say ensure power sports yenya atnase Jumadie live our YouTube handle no ensure TV our YouTube handle down fe wetimi atwani the show we call YouTuber aya no subscribe we subscribe na fe we do comment edi atreche ebipam yabaki kani nyina edi amao ewo so na etimi aboaye pa na eno so etimi ayekama yenya trasi yede finsam edi eba enkrofama so nsam so yebedi hu nkomo kakra ewa ha na afi ebedefo etimi atenase na ya pensem mu edi amao ewo dwumadi so from Gabby Thuram the foreigner entertainment nyina we beti obi anka Bismarck Ousu Bempa Ayala ewa ha yebeko tactical board no so na match previews yet me enso remo eno Madrid enso enyabo game no so nkomo yebeko tactical board no so na edi eho enkomo Fifi Manfred ewa ha Josia Holotu enso ewa ha obetene nka ewo so yeso na yaba eye finsama ewa maminsa se kra from amane nsem dia edabama so a anopei yeba bedi eho enkomo unim sa ena Arsenal ewo game na se Arsenal betimi age Premier League na ena obu game omu bono evat eno so hu behia ye pa because this year women Manchester City nyina ewo 70 points ama was Arsenal the league ne de emse enye from nsaba na zabet ekwanya wo ho edema Arsenal ne eno nkomo kakawa ha ye behwe ewo show no so eno ti Manchester City wɔn deɛ wɔn ɛbɔ FA Cup semi final wɔn ne Southampton ana ɛde ne nti wɔn nso yɛ sɛ bia wɔn bɛtumi anya the nod na wɔn first trophy a wɔn nso ɛbɛtumi agye wɔn bɛtumi agye ansa na bia league yi ɛdeɛ na ba bɛka ho ɛno nso ɛtumi aba na ɛno ɛyɛ deɛ ɛba ɛwɔ dwumadie so but elsewhere ɛwɔ Spain ukɔ Spain deɛ obi aso Barca for na misɛ league no manya fa ɛsan sɛ ɛno a 84 point ana Barca enya o compare Madrid na nko obi anim sɛ no a Madrid betimi ase but Madrid was 74 ɛno a wɔn draw na wɔn bɔɔ yɛ no nti amanfo vi so Barcelona de league ni deɛ wɔn nya ate Madrid front aseɛ ɛno nso yɛbɛhwɛ na yɛdi ɛho nkɔmɔ ɛwɔ show no so na asɛm a Chelsea head coach na ɔhwɛ tire no papa ne nsɛm a waka no Chelsea gu so open new head coach na another press conference about so Mark Falane say Chelsea players in the obo number 2 the ball the obo number 3 the ball team be win it and Tamanfo bisa say not that means Limros no aduma no onim ya na but Chelsea wo mu you team coach no under 21 coach no and sama ono e kan no enti ye be practice Chelsea bebe niam be dane and as I said this bet coach ba kwa ne ho abo mu ye pa Cesc Fabregas, former Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona, one former player, and then one more coach, Adama Kobo Bobo, one president to say, team be abanya de say coach no won't be crying, so on team call any other club. And you seven confirm so ye beji bre na ye di ehun enkobo na ya be fie wo be fin sam no so press conference no enya ba so Sisia Black Stars new head coach Carlos Queiroz na one central first time open na team komo ye pa wakan sempi was a player bi o way go bia no wodi tum say player bi akra personality but I say anya no he one team onim Black Stars and to so a player una way go so we need go anya dey so ono the problem kra eno yan sam kakran so Carlos Queiroz e dey atodwa watene kwan ono fa so ebo ne matches was ono sa attacking e dey defending sansam na yon person be kai san so onim say yebo game ni wi a winning mentality ano no ekwa no obia ehwe and to do say Jabebo game area na Black Stars and so awene and a key pointer Carlos Queiroz edited na eno ayasase tete ni interview no ho and na dia ye obre ye parenti yebedi nkomo ewo eyeso yiso na eno ada womu anso ko Black Galaxy womu training grounds na womu any technical team ni nyina ana ekoye member we fisa ni backroom staff oni on be ye aduma no Henry Asantutum enya the confirmation about Fatal Dada John Pinto and you can say youth coach Nidin Desmond Ofe and so eka ho a wo adwo mu nyina tum atese wo ene Carlos Queiroz and so ebe adwuma eno ye reporter eno so eba ewo dwuma de so Ghana Premier League no so bounce back na etimi edi enkobo club ya na tema Santiroko epe new CEO na ewonsam na ye data nano da ayala ni fifie tete ho de mamo beta na de ye wobre enti ye bedi nkomo ye pa wan ni de new CEO a oba befa Asante Korokobo Bokono when some kayepi na ye de ebrewo ewo eye dwumade so ebe de ye be kwa mono ne na face no Andy Costa e de eremo of foreign 40 na yetumi edi nkomo afa na wadwane ye mum nyina kwaba eye insure FMS in Shop Sports and I di ebro fisa bia kopim say 12 o'clock ebabo na exactly 10 so ye betwa ni ye nuanom mu ewo asempa 947 and kan phone so etimi adwane eye the feed na eno aye kama ye pa anti for messages na koso fabna na yankinkai emfa emo anigosa good morning
Gabby
na empom to say
Nyankopon da romaga me ho
ye de nyame ase pa nsemo ho pa na osi Chelsea coach no o say
coach ne say simple quality players at Chelsea kuta no say udu obi abone position say Joao Pedro bone 9 Kupama bone 10 uyi Arante offense Pedro Neto Edini free left wing once we left. We do the ball left wing. I just want limit no. We do the ball right. Now so you see left anymore. Maybe other Ganacho call left
no
one.
No. Sir. Not just Manchester born never is here, boy. And now I didn't cost
Manchester boss say.
Manchester born never been here, boy.
Oh, Manchester boss say.
There is some carry so on 2 ball 2. 3 ball 3. 4 ball 4.
Maybe problem.
Number 5 ball 5. Into Manchester way now near
here. Obi enim say Luis Diaz born 11. So I say. Na ya time for the hold on we example say. I'm menya e. Ana
me say, say woman never can say. Time I hear boy ani say. Na near man koyen. Ana me dey market carry buy. Ana carry say. One day the ball no about the ball and your conventional when you be no about the ball. Number 2 ball 2. Number 3 ball 3. I know my anafa. And here the as coach in yard. And ya pamana ya de.
Yes, Onyadi. Ah. Because Onyadi has a way at any apamana. Okay, Onyadi.
Onyadi apamana. Anna, yes, under 21 head coach in the Namefa. I know by no say. You see, number 1. Da go post odi no number 2 ball 2 number 3 ball 3 Manchester dia na
okay we dey enkomre
ana mpese body atu
enkomra you know na eba mu na na me
na ompe okay ya boba ya ndi ni bi
no dey me no ya adwen
ya di ya gopo ya zampedi ati ya na yanka jamfama we kra de mami nyamfama we yanko straight na open mora ansa what the man kwara mora no ya na dia asem na eba enti mame ma mora na
I'm a tear for you now. Show us live on Nhyira 104.5 FM and watch no. Dear tense and Saturday. Opesa Ushe Jumedian live. Obaba YouTube. Now Oba YouTube Nhyira TV or YouTube. Oba no subscribe and watch now the comment. Eddie twice here now in the course of the show. Yaba kind man bibia kama. Eddie amount. Now my main front one is a weekend way no. Your matches Pia Eba so the top 5 measure. European leagues in now dear tense woko omaya from Spain. La Liga matches Eba so this weekend. Na matches are eba so La Liga no anu sepan say Madrid for asase twa wata enye nze kura na nyame yanduma de tense matches na eba so na de tense anro Estadio di La Catuja yenya team from say Real Betis fie wom ane Real Madrid ebo 1-1 draw na Madrid game anro eba so away no Vinicius Junior ene di cash first goal ene ma Real Madrid ansana former Arsenal wom player na fen Hector Bellerin eba take an animal rebetis ama says hey akofa nsem bebre ediaba na di kama me Felan Mendy when abrantia first Anthony na we and a Madrid for no wo mu e complain Madrid for ni gidi e pass go na abrantia first Hector Bellerin wo share no omuni problem ni mo problem ene say ansana born eba tonet no abrantia first Anthony wo foul Felan Mendy entina e wo say refra ye first Soto Grado wo je foul enema tima je from Real Madrid nemo ref no anye foul amfama Real Madrid na de Madrid for no say etwa omunsu mu kra no Brahim Diaz bono enu so ne we shot Brahim Diaz wo boy na shot on target and a ball Rebetis different bakonsa ref say wo je penalty a enye ye Madrid for no edwa bruta na Madrid for no say that time when I born the ball player insano reference Soto Grado were just 12 seconds and of course a review va na va ref no Pablo Gonzalez Fortes one also 12 seconds et man for say and no man see no and comply with FIFA rules on handball et omagituma enye and no some kakra e free Real Madrid woman so eba we at time at Madrid omo game no Madrid players and our show no I'm not here for Trent Alexander-Arnold and a ekoto wono Ubo say Jude Bellingham and around seven say Antonio Rudiger one also the order in Sagulity and Eduardo Camavinga one also butuo and the Andra Abra reference Soto Grado Wabon a final whistle no na Madrid players no I devastated na hadri pa na Avalo Abelua was say Andra and no man is see no what Genewa one tears here it's a Felan Mendy ne bone de na e foul na according to Avalo Abelua was a problem no every referee Soto Grado na sometimes ayana referees no omuni madwuma eno ay Avalo Abelua ano nsem kakra wodi tuja na Avalo Abelua wo shape wonim se Madrid wo season no Xabi Alonso ena chance na Alonso about 34 matches wo win 24 wo lose 6 ena wo draw 4 Avalo Abelua eba ye no wo about 23 games wo win 14 wo lose 7 ena wo draw 2 a chance Madrid e come say woman a mistake say manager Jefferson Xabi Alonso woman pamon emane koye na yeka Alonso once no woman said the last 10 matches are Madrid abo e La Liga no ni Madrid e consider goal na the last 10 matches e La Liga no e 13 goals and Madrid o ma consider the second in the history of Real Madrid where for the first time since 2004 Madrid about 10 matches in a row e La Liga no Nhyira omo consider go now the last time ABC no na May 2004 and the manager Carlos Queiroz we hear somehow it's say Ghana your manager say yakofa no ono and yes how record no e team je from Real Madrid and am payere unsem e matifo nya e show no so na Andra Avalo Abelua unim say your program no ni post match interview akoye no just 3 minutes e no kodi na 3 minutes edu baby na Avalo Abelua bofu esanse ensamcheri bako ekobi san say was squad a wode buy no yahu dan Ceballos wom na Ceballos emprai na manager edienti and one first dan Ceballos amfana kan Avalo Abelua say ono players biana wo ba select Real Madrid biano e na player krono wo select ne say wo mabua ama Madrid modern bono enko kama na chese manager e pa chese what is Dani Ceballos e kanwa e na ne modern bono e from eno e Avalo Abelua na Andro e na Kylian Mbappe after say of free Paris Saint-Germain about Real Madrid no wo bon 100 game e ma Real Madrid na Mbappe e game no e 81st minute e na Mbappe was signal say uniform wapra na yamame second say Mbappe wakonya muscle overload na a hamstring injury and Mbappe wakonya e won nine bonku no nyame aduma ene Mbappe ekwakoya test na omahwe the extent of injury abrantia e first Kylian Mbappe enya e Real Madrid ni manager first Avalo Abelua say boy epra nemum onim say obatena fiache anase on tena fie enche nyame aduma ene wo koya test ni wia ena say Mbappe kubetima to aso this season and am Real Madrid and I say on team to aso and I Avalo Abelua na Hector Bellerin and on take an animal Real Betis wouldn't say omuye game no post match interview Hector Bellerin say and I say around say Hector Bellerin was say young fan to obianim say won say Avalo Abelua e complaini nimum do betimi akacha ne say incident na o complain no omusu enya bi nimum referee anje na enu ne Bon ebo abrantie fanse Brahim Diaz sensa e penalty box num referee Soto Grado wanye eti Hector Bellerin say e sa e na bot here at times ubetimi anase at times ebetimi akwama ebi so enkwama enti say ankwama wa e wo say uyedi eno e Hector Bellerin ensem kaka odi tuja na wonim say Andra wo mo program na amokọ no wey e Madrid players no wo mo free stadium na amokọfo amo bands akono wey e Madrid supporters masa anda Europa na yebenya supporters ni bia won se Madrid players no wo mo shame na semu sradenti na mo kono mo de monim atetetete na obo Real Madrid na wo yam ehye sedia am se supporters no wo madwum won tiase wo de entie andra Madrid supporters e was Sevilla de Okay, we dey trust with a voice near radio. You don't want some amateur for na el show so and no air kakre fro be na no pay no.
it's not my place to say.
Okay, nti wode anto so na yemfa stories ne bi emetifo nyina e show no so nti eno ayensem kakra andra esie Estadio de la Catuja ena no pay de wonsem emetifo nyina e show no so wonim se me kasanyame adoma ena team from se Barca wom ebo mu game no na Barca game eba so Estadio Coliseum Afonso Perez no se nyame adom na Barca etimi awini game na e kire se La Liga wom betwim 11 points na chese enkopem be se third mayor El Clasico Ebaso El Spotify company no na ebia Barca team no woma je La Liga ndada ekoba ne sa e Real Madrid wom ye guard of honor and ma Barca team no e hadwini ye panemom sia na asie eno oye kakra na no pay no ye de wonsem emetifo nyina El show no so na nyame ya doma seria meka no ene ye woma chesa Ebaso e La Liga num ebo 2:15 p.m. e Estadio Coliseum Afonso Perez Hetafe elfie wom ene Barca ene ebo and which is 7 o'clock p.m. Atletico Madrid, Gombetnefie, El Civitas Metropolitano Stadium, Womobo Athletic Club de Bilbao, Yami Adma Ochina, Rayo Vallecano, Ebo Real Sociedad, now for Villarreal, Woman Celta de Vigo game Abaso, we are notable matches, we can do Abaso, El La Liga Nano Pino, Yet update MT4 na El Shonoso, na so a Barca, and a Dika El La Liga table so, na Barca El 82 points, and watch Real Madrid, El Tosumino. Almost 74. Your Villarreal, almost Tosumiensa, almost 62. Atletico Madrid Tosunai, almost 57. And a Real Betis, a Tosu Enuma, almost 50 points. Na Pichichi, a top scorer, El Spain, na Ukola Liga Nima, a Kylian Mbappe, and a Dikai, was 24 goals. And watch Vadat Morogi, El 21. Your Lami Yama, and of Ant Budime, woman as 16 goals. A Ferran Torres, El 14 goals. Vinicius Jr. Asha 13, Robert Lewandowski, and Afe, Mikel Oyarzabal, women in Asha 12 goals apiece, and Anopino, yet update MT for your El Jonoso, Afe free Omaya from Spain, now young Tosso El France, now Oko French Liganma, their 10 matches, Airbus weekend way, now Andra in your breast Elfie, women in Lens, about 3, Yamia Duma and Saturday, and Afe, watching Sunday. Notable matches are Ebanso El French Garmino, 1 o'clock p.m. and Olympic Lyon Elfie, Womobo Ozel, and Wachi Angers, about 5 o'clock p.m. Woman Paris Saint Germain and Ebo, after Toulouse Elfie, Womobo AS Monaco Yamia Duma, and then 7:05 p.m. and a game Ebaso, after Yamia Duma Ochina Sunday, Olympic Marcel Elfie, Womobo Tima, ya from Sir OGC Nice, still a Paris Saint Germain, and a decline El French League table. So almost 66 points and when she lands at Tosumiano almost 63 after Olympic Lyon woman Tosumian almost 54 and after Tosunaya woman so 54 points now the 10 top scoring chart El French Liganimo Esteban Lepo and Edikai or 17 goals Joaquin Panichili or 16 Yo Messi Greenwood or 15 goals Elson Edward or 12 after Ferran Balengu one also 12 goals Ubenya Pavel Soch or 11 goals after Bradley Bakola, Wesley Said, Florent Tovan, and Usman Dembele. Women as 10 goals apiece, and on the pay the ones MT for El Shonoso after Yanko Ilie, now Uko Italia, the tennis weekend way, Italian Serie A matches are Emerson Anwashi, a match with 34. Now it's a every Andra Friday. Now our Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, Andra the Patanopis of Napoli. Elfie, woman shall 4, Emma Cremonense, woman Entimante, now the 10 say Scott McTominay, and a shall first go, and man Napoli, after Abrante France, Terrenciano, and the on goal, about second goal ɛma Napoli ɛma Calvin De Bruyne ɛbɔ third goal ansana Alexis Santos ɛde fourth goal ɛso so ɛma Napoli eti ano Napoli team no ɛofie wɔn hyɛfo ɛma Cremonense wɔn entimante mama Calvin De Bruyne Andra was 100th league goal ɛwɔ the top 5 measure European leagues num na ever since Calvin De Bruyne every Belgium about the top 5 measure European leagues num no what the kind about Chelsea and Sana Oko Wolfsburg or Germany or about Manchester City and I say we seen kind at Napoli na matches awabo any teams awabo na our league no Andra and Calvin De Bruyne was 100th league goal and De Bruyne about Juma pa and yan some keto kran and yami aduma and about 4 o'clock pm Bologna ever Tinafi or a stadio anase a stadio Renato da Ara woman AS Roma enable yami aduma otina your Torino 4 o'clock pm woman Inter Milan after AC Milan big game woman Tinafi or Giuseppe Meazza Stadium 6:45 pm woman Juventus yami aduma Monday 4:30 pm Cagliari Calcio Elfie amone Atalanta enable na fe SS Lazio atnafi na amone Udinese Calcio game abaso na still Inter enedi kan Italy na Inter Milan team no 78 points after Napoli etosumienu womo 69 AC Milan tosumiensa womo 66 and after Juventus team no womo tosu enaya almost 63 na Capo Cannonieri top scorer Italy uko Iliad ya tense Lautaro Martinez enedi kan was 16 goals Nico Pass 12 after Marcus Thuram wane Anastasios Dovikas womo nyina asha 11 goals apiece after your Nico and I say around TFS Nikola Krovic after Kenan Yildiz Rasmus Højlund your Donald Malen and after Kenan Davies woman so as 10 goals and none of Payade on them Emma Tiafoina El Shono so after Yinfona and Tosso El Germany now Oko Bundesliga ma under Friday El Red Bull Arena Yenya RB Leipzig Elfie woman Semiansa Emma Union Berlin woman Entimante Yami Adma and fortunate Sunday notable matches are Ebaso El German Bundesliga no and 1:30 p.m. 2 games FC Cologne Ebertnefi El Ren Energy Stadion woman Bayern Munich enable and watch Mainz 05 and I say how many Bayern 05 Leverkusen rather na Mainz 05 atnafie Miwa Arena na omane Bayern Munich game abaso Yami Adma Ochina Stuttgart Ebo Werder Bremen 1:30 p.m. na 3:30 p.m. Borussia Dortmund Signal Iduna Park woman Freiburg enebebo na anasetima Jafram Bayern woman de kind Germany na Bayern Munich team no 79 points Borussia Dortmund etosumienu woman 64 RB Leipzig tosumiensa woman 62 and after Stuttgart woman tosu enaya woman 56 points na top scoring chart Germany Hurricane Edikan or 32 goals Dennis Undaf etosumienu 18 goals Luis Diaz 15 Seru Goransi as 14 goals your Christopher Bungatna and wachi around TFS Michael Olise Jan Diomande and after Andre Kramaric woman na as 12 goals and na payare won sempina Emma Tiafoina El Shono so after yenye matches now England na over Premier League nima the tense Andra Friday Stadium of Light surprisingly under Sunderland Elfie woman lose 5-0 and my west side you're from St. Nottingham Forest na around TFS Holmes about first goal and my Nottingham Forest na a on goal after Chris Wood at the second goal ever so Emma Morgan Gibbs White about third goal I go Jesus about fourth goal Ansana Elliot Anderson at the fifth goal as also at the man Nottingham Forest na Nyami Aduma and a Saturday the 10th early kickoff 11:30 am and anopaya Fulham Craven Cottage woman Aston Villa enable after Liverpool Anfield woman about Crystal Palace na yen say Liverpool team no a person am qualify for Nyami Aduma next season UEFA Champions League woman Crystal Palace we are woman go away Old Trafford woman Man United enable Yente Ancelotti one and manager at Liverpool manager say focus Crystal Palace we are Ancelotti.
Of course, there are conversations going on about next season, but my complete focus is and still should be on this season because margins are small. 1 or 2 results can make a big difference, as we saw, because I think 2 weeks ago we weren't 5 points clear of the number 6, and 2 results later we are. So it can also go both ways. So my full focus is on Palace.
Okay, we Liverpool manager Ancelot and our tenant cancer or Casano. Na Yami Adma and the West Ham United, our London Olympic Stadium, woman Everton enable, Wolverhampton Wanderers, El Molineux, woman about Tottenham Hotspurs, now 4:30 p.m. El Emirates, the attendance the Gunners, Arsenal Elfie, woman in Newcastle United enable. Na you say we can do Man City, woman more game, woman about FA Cup, and Yami Adma Arsenal Esha, woman caught top El Premier League table so. Na Mikel Arteta Arsenal manager and manager no na pre-match press conference no wakasa yenti Arsenal one manager Mikel Arteta
win tomorrow, game 1 win, and then we will be much closer.
Do you have that what's the belief in your supercomputer saying?
On the computer, I have belief in our players, in our people, and the willingness that we have to achieve what we want. 2 big competitions to play for and everything to play for. I mean, if somebody would have told us at the beginning of the season, we would have taken it, and we are so excited. And tomorrow is game 1.
Okay, we Arsenal manager first Mikel Arteta and I will take Arteta and Kasa say wo GD only players nim se nyame aduma wo mo be share tia Newcastle United and no manager your first Mikel Arteta and I will tell nka no na nyame aduma Monday 7:00 p.m. Old Trafford Manchester United ofie wo ne Brentford enable na still Man City and the dikan Premier League table so City 70 points Arsenal toss me no wo mo so 70 your Man United toss me and 58 points Aston Villa toss 9 58 and Liverpool toss enuma wo so 55 points now we say Chelsea away Chelsea toss wo 48 points now the Panyaze we say top scoring chart Premier League no Ellen Haaland already kind was 24 goals Igor Thiago Eboma Brentford or 21 goals Antoine Semenyo 15 your Joao Pedro was 14 goals after Danny Welbeck 13 Morgan Gibbs White 13 Victor Gyökeres 12 goals Hugo Ekitike and Oli Watkins woman now so woman asayla min goals and an player wonsem Emma Tifonia show so live on 104.5 FM after young toss way na young first stories libi Emma Tifonia show so na mami lami yamai esan say the month of April Spanish La Liga no Lami Yamal one energy best player you say Lami Yamal April the season our bansa over nemum according to the tennis La Liga for no woman say Lami Yama one and vote no as player of the month April and an pay no jere won sem Tifonia show so na nyame aduma sama will be any se bansa ebeto striker na bansa number 1 target Julian Alvarez wasina kan Edema Atletico Madrid na Ambra yesi Julian Alvarez ne family womo travel eko Barcelona na bansa na omukọ en omukopedan eno na ma speculation abasenie se bansa for no woma chance any Julian Alvarez edin komo esanse boy no Madrid en wati inti enyankwa se na busuafo ebekọ bansa ana se Barcelona se omukopedan chese enkomodie esase ekoso ewusuma se enti bansa for de woma se Julian Alvarez kianake there se omoto na na me ka FA Cup wansem ede achirawo semi final and a weekend way ever so England and the mountain so na Wembley and 2 games in ever so nyame aduma and 4:15 p.m. yebenya the Sky Blues of Man City wom and Southampton enable na nyame aduma ochina 2:00 p.m. the same venue Wembley Chelsea Leeds United Mami Pep Guardiola where manager and the Sky Blues of Man City manager na say ompeso omowene eritia Southampton wakasai pa say Man City team no already woman the kanji EFL Cup one person omode they can say FA Cup also now muji Premier League ekobanisa Man City ebaji domestic and I say domestic trouble at the SCM also Unity City one boss Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, 19 games unbeaten, able to knock out Fulham and Arsenal, so speak for itself. So good rhythm, yeah, great opportunity to get the final. Living day by day. No, it's not. Records are numbers. Means how fine we have been. Oh yeah, and will be. So that is the point. So no, I wouldn't wake up in the morning and think, we won what do you want, make me that day happier. No. It's what happened, and now we have opportunity, play semi-final Wembley again, and try in a few weeks, reach the final.
Okay, where Pep Guardiola manager and Mother Sky Blues of Man City and I'm telling us JVCBNS name of Yami Admochina Wembley against Hampton here team from Man City one episode of winning game I know Pep Guardiola na many kind told him that say Chelsea one more Leeds United Mama Callum McFarlane where under 20 one more coach of Chelsea name of you say Chelsea team no one more Sake manager Jafan Liam Rossinia. It's just an interim manager and my Chelsea Callum McFarlane na Andra McFarlane the first press conference ever so na manager akasapa na Callum McFarlane say Chelsea quality players na quality players ekuta Chelsea say no Jobetimaka and say Enzo Fernandez Pedro Neto, Joao Pedro, women are best players. Now, what me fix you more? Right position, Jetia Biano, one by many games at the amount. Now, chess a manager and purchase a Liam Rossinia. Now, obo players out of position and Sam Kakra, manager and Erituja. Now, Callum McFarlane, at was a Palmer, a top talent, were super talented. Now, Palmer, a bit my decided gamer, a big game. Watch us a bono when you bought one of the idea about Cobras way and it said or the Palmer on the right position said a one man go crana what the creativity about Chelsea the final pass every time will be a share and Callum McFarlane and on some Kaka or the Tuga now only sense William Estevao boy and want some to say Callum McFarlane I say Estevao William season or Chelsea over and on sense boy no wait me a World Cup according to Chelsea one interim manager was say one to be honest want me and can say Estevao William ever World Cup and I say on World Cup name boy ni plano hupa na Estevao William Germany second say over travel at the aqua Brazil and question rehabilitation I say Eddie free now when the Chelsea medical doctors no edin komo ni entourage no nabusia phone omane Chelsea medical doctors no edin komo ama Chelsea atia se boy no ebetima travel at the aqua Brazil na boy empese obey surgery where surgery a chese World Cup want me enkobi eti boy empese okọ World Cup ba wokoba na fei where surgery and no William Estevao update kakra efi na so eba na ye ka Brazil ene wo squad won sem no jemi say kan say nyame aduma 18th May Rio de Janeiro and manager fan say Carlo Ancelotti what in the final squad of Brazil when they call World Cup ebeba na almost a Museo di Amanha Rio de Janeiro and I saw announcement in ebeba na chese one two di unkobi where baby announcement in ombe na name a dey hwekwe dey edi obekobi essence place e prapa ebasa e man name ho akonya say ono so ebeko World Cup na yenko Inter Milan Mama Manuel Akanji where Man City player okobo loan and my Inter Milan Jamin second say Inter for no woman gidi pass boy ne buy no ne money bo answani enti ombeto nyame aduma May and ombe formalize deal no na 50 million euros at the Man City na Swiss defender your friend Manuel Akanji was stay at the Inter Milan and now pay that one sem team for na el show so now already European some dada such Chelsea asake omo manager na why and a Chelsea manager and nam tintan video so I go ya woman the manager bia to Rubin amarum say eh mu de say Chelsea ko Relegation ko amope na manager of Manchester United ya hu na si do be si twa watahie na mo de nebra Chelsea manager we dey 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 nem against supporters union gidi pass manager we dey say wo ba Chelsea betima yadwuma ne kama nem Chelsea yempe na Frank Lampard what the can be coach Chelsea playing 2 times Baku as permanent manager Baku as interim manager was a legend and my Chelsea were all-time top scorer and my Chelsea Frank Lampard say I make say no one in a head coach and my Coventry City after 25 years what my championship and a Premier League when we come say Frank Lampard say Chelsea adwuma na beto na we nya ba ya na Frank Lampard say Chelsea business one also any business do betima kan e dey check Coventry City wo mo France ne say emebo bibia nso nem do betima kan say ono na adwuma na oye no when you control when adwuma so na cheze utie Frank Lampard nsem na wakana se ebia Chelsea for na pe na omudi omunkomo yi a ebia omunsa ebitima ka Frank Lampard amana ye na ye ka managers a ometimi abaya adwuma anema Chelsea no ukokoma Chelsea wo former player fans Cesc Fabregas wo ye adwuma pa na Cesc Fabregas komo wo president mewan Suwansu we Japani na wana ya president anema komo na me kai part time Inter Milan manager Francis Simone Inzaghi woko Al Hilal El Saudi Arabia koba se Inter wo epe manager no e ba se Inter epe Fabregas ema president ya ebe kan se enya dia wo be jai ama manager Francis Fabregas akọ nemum andra wo ko bi san se yese Chelsea wo se omunya Cesc Fabregas a wo pe na presido wo ni sai wo be jam na kwana president ne se wo mun si Fabregas kwan na se eno ena ema Fabregas nani agya ende ombeye ede amano en aye komo president a ye fan se me one Suwansu ensam kakra odi tuja na Cesc Fabregas yenim se komo team no weekend we omo kwa we wo mun January enebo anwa ne premier press conference eba so no wo mu sa Fabregas ye se Chelsea epel na anya bia no obetena ana se obekọ Fabregas e crazy se obetinke samre se opese ofree team je from se komo na aka 5 matches el Serie A num opese odi komo I qualify for Europe. Now qualify for Europe here. And Abia obetimi. I'm going to say Abia be free. I'm a free como. And I say on free como. Now the betimaka and say the president in some kind of one teshe. Now who must say bia? Name of the president. I can't say of value or no manager Cesc Fabregas. And until any J say otna or como and I have Fabregas and some kakao di tuja. Now my Manchester United. Woman captain Bruno Fernandes this season the money was 20 pound and say Man United started season na emoma ensira enkoye no na andra woni BBC edin komo woni former Manchester United wo player first Wayne Rooney and edin komo na edi kan Bruno Fernandes say one of the still when so our Manchester United and say obaji Premier League obaji Champions League and that na adwum na the ono Bruno Fernandes wo betimi aka and say Sanu ma wenyina no woje ababu amane career no bibia kokama ade amano na Rooney ese opese Bruno Fernandes agi PFA player of the year na obisa Bruno Fernandes ope na Bruno Fernandes say a privilege ade mano se san komodi we kran di wom na ebe unbelievable achievement ade ama ono Bruno Fernandes se obaji PFA player of the year esa se oba Manchester United no wonje sa award bi pen enti woje na ni baje pa na Bruno Fernandes say nyame adoma World Cup Portugal ekono womani swadi hu bakope womo ko rape World Cup no edema Cristiano Ronaldo na omonji evuma Portugal mine nko a womoji edema Cristiano Ronaldo essence enoma Ronaldo aye our football no what deserve say oje World Cup we aye United captain Bruno Fernandes.
Wrapping up all this last World Cup with Cristiano, winning it will be something amazing, and I really hope that that we can make that not just for Portugal but for everything that Cristiano gave to football in Portugal and to the world. I think will be a very nice way to end this season.
Okay, where I Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes and our tenant Casa or Casano. Now you say no Manchester United captain Bruno when you offer free Saudi Arabia and my boy decided say only baby uncle what Manchester United. Now under Umbisa Bruno said DNT and a secretary DSA Amba how decided say what Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes say Santana Manchester United woman struggle pa now we're captain and my United and he want me say United extra go now a job hako and and our try say about contribute and Manchester United and toss me na sikan a huge name of Nhyira ebusan say what you dream in area there we betimi akọ Saudi Arabia and now no Bruno and said abi and no more person or yeah Manchester United no wonya enye na ono Bruno Fernandes Nhyira ene ne ma wo mu empese ombaya sika fo e wiase ne mom wo empese ɔmo achieve ɔmo dream ɛno ɛyɛ Bruno Fernandes nsɛm kakra Andra wɔde to dwa Antonio Conte ɛwɔ Napoli sɛ wɔne Lukaku ɛtwe paa na yɛnim sɛ Lukaku ne Conte deɛ ɛnka ɔmo ka paa ɛsiane sɛ Romelu Lukaku ɛno ɔmo ankoyɛ ɛwɔ Chelsea ɛyɛ Antonio Conte adaroma ɛna ɔgye no ɛwɔ Inter Milan sɛ wasa gye no ɛwɔ team from sɛ Napoli na ɔn sɛ Lukaku ɛkɔ prai ɛma Napoli fɔ no ɛma ne kɔ Belgium sɛ ɔnkɔyɛ rehabilitation akyire ɛna Napoli ɛka sɛ ɔnsamra Lukaku ɛdecide yɛ sɛ ɔmba na deɛ meme sɛ kan sɛ Lukaku afei deɛ mpanifoɔ ɛne ne kasa ɛma ne bai na ɔbaa Napoli ɔmo training grounds no wɔbɛhyia Napoli sporting director yɛfrɛ sɛ Giovanni Manna na yɛsɛ baabi a meeting ɛkɔɔ so no ɛbɛn Antonio Conte office wonim sɛ Lukaku wɔwie meeting no ɛnkakɔkyɛ manager korai wankɔ koraa ɛna ɔtu Lukaku a ɛna ɔsa kɔ Belgium ama Antonio Conte sɛ were disappointed pa na ɛnoma no asi no wɔdwene wɔn a wɔnte aseɛ at least na ɛwɔ sɛ Romelu Lukaku ɛbɛkyia no na ne office bɛsɛ mɔde nkɔmmɔ nyinaa wie bɛkyia manager no kɔ a wɔntimi amɛkyia wɔn nti Antonio Conte sɛ wɔdi aberanteɛ fa sɛ Lukaku na ho yɛ ɔyɛ paa ɛwɔ Napoli na anɔpa yi yɛre wo nsɛm ɛmɛtiefo nyina ɛwɔ show no so na William Saliba ɛyɛ center back ɛma Arsenal yɛnim sɛ aduru baabi na Arsenal team no wɔmatwem 12 points sɛ ɔmɛtumi agye Premier League sɛ ɔmatenatena saa ama Man City abɛsa wɔn William Saliba sɛ matches na aka no ɛyɛ do or die mission ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmu ɛwɔ pitch no so na deɛ bɛtumi aka ɛne sɛ obiara nta wɔn akyi fans no team no technical staff wɔbi amfa ne mpaebɔ enter Arsenal players n'akyi na ɔmo di second atɔtɔ so saa sɛ this season ɔmo gye a ɛbɛyɛ special paa na mmom sɛ ɔmo ntimi anyɛ a ayɛ too late nti ɛwɔ second ne ke Arsenal ɔmo gye Premier League no ɛde si ɔmo nan so ɛno ɔyɛ William Saliba nsɛm kakra ɔde to dwa na wokɔ Chelsea a yɛsɛ Chelsea manager na ɔmo pɛ no yɛsɛ internal Chelsea for no sɛ manager korɔ no sɛ ɔyɛ adwuma na sɛ ɔyɛ adwuma deɛ ɛm sɛ ɛyɛ two managers ɛna ɔmo din bɛba either sɛ ɛyɛ Cesc Fabregas anaasɛ ɛyɛ Julian Nagelsmann ebi ɛyɛ saa two managers yi ɛna Chelsea for no ebi a wɔn pɛ sɛ ɔmo fɔ ɔmo nsan sɛ managers na aba ne deɛ dodoɔ na ɛte fie ɛyɛ two managers yi wɔn ɛna ebi a Chelsea ɛbɛ appoint ɔmo as ɔmo next manager Jimmy Carragher ɛyɛ former Liverpool wɔn player Liverpool ɛgye Champions League 2004 anaasɛ 2005 rather ɛde atia AC Milan ɛwɔ Atatürk Stadium ɛwɔ Turkey no na Jimmy Carragher ɛka ho Jimmy Carragher say ɛnoma na ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Chelsea no ɛyɛ nkomodi a ɛnkɔye na ɔmo wura ne day to day affair ɛwɔ Cobham no ɔmo ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ Chelsea mpanifo no ɛne ɔmo kɔnate na ɔmo di nkɔmɔ ɛsan sɛ ɔmo ɛne nim sɛ best player nie wei ɛne bɔbɔ wei ɛnya adeɛ nti saa nkɔmɔdie no kɔ so deɛ a ebia Chelsea ɔmo future ɛbɛsesa ɛno ɛyɛ Jimmy Carragher nsɛm kakra ɔde ato dwa na anɔpa yi no yɛrɛ wo nsɛm ɛmɛtiefo nyina ɛwɔ show no so Gabi.
Well, okay. Ani Costa yanase sɛ wɔde akɔ ɛyɛ nkrɔfo ama so anɔpa wɔdi japa in fact update no nso yɛ kama nti money adwuma well I was here Nhyira Power Sports ɛso any weekend edition yegusu a yɛti nkonya mu na yɛbɛwura mu the tactical front na no nso yɛdi nkɔbɔ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ tactical front Fifi Manfred ɛwɔ anim sɛ Asante Kwate ɛde yɛbɛwura mu na afei yɛdi ɛyɛ nkɔbɔ but afei no wɔati mu afide ndi ato a yɛso no live ɛwɔ YouTube handle nti wokɔ YouTube handle na wode comment enso aba yɛbɛkin kani nyina ɛde ama wɔ dwumadie so but enkrafo no so yɛmama kɔ aba ɛde ba ɛyɛ Nhyira FM so Asempa 947 enso adwane ɛwɔ nkranti enkrafo no nyina no mo so mobetimi akɔ YouTube na yɛ Nhyira TV ɛyɛ anoma subscribe a na aboa ama so bi a yɛbɛkɔ live bia no so nsabeka na wadwenkyerɛ watimi ɛde aba ɛwɔ ɛyɛ dwumadie so Mr. Charles Fenebo a ɛwɔ ɛyɛ kura emu yɛ tro Virginia. What Mr. Charles Chidebua, greetings from Landmark Department, Alexandria, Virginia, USA. Isha Power Sports Team. And Mr. Charles Chidebua, Yajoso. Minimse, when you're Bushana, Monso, Moho, Eye, and Isaac Darlington was listening to you and watching you from Prisia, Western North. Okay, Prisia Fodina, ma Inchame. Is it Naftali? Okay, Ozzy, I'm watching you guys from Canada. Greeting to you, Richard, and your crew. And Naf also Yentiamo, Bibia, Monso, Mubia, and Sita. Donko and so Italy one also Italy was shown in Sita Yentia also when Ghana for more also bet me the messages about na yakin kenny na edi amount was shown so about you been come on to a few come bebre ewa if you come up bebre ewa if you come up bebre ewa anyasem kotwa kra anyasem kotwa if you come up henti de na Blasters in come on Colors Kura Saba, Jumano so yet to be Ayedina Kaba. Ediama Asante Kwati Fifi Manfred. Good morning. Govina Empome there. So why in the farm now? I said Mintu Kay. Minyante unke.
Yeah, fine.
Aha, Afinaba. Fides is ya dear them.
I said on so side we be able.
Oh, Yamia do be yenya by there enkwani ahode na ehia
exactly
enkwani ahode na ehia pa okay
now now Mr. Charles was saying
also check crew ni nyina
ma send you message bin tell shame ya
zao
my name is Mr. Charles and Bobby din ko nga crave
okay okay
Saturday you say you the two form
Boko na yedim komo.
We review the game, we preview the games.
Yeah.
Me and my boys are first car. Now you him.
And Rabba Kote Toy.
And 2 days ago, so 2 odds in the camp boy.
Okay.
10 odds and then 9 odds. Now boys need this car. I promised the boys in the first week of April. Say April and May a year season a day. You have to make wings. You know, Kofi Diakwaba and you may not frame it. So our first car. There's 11 odds. And the boys the final move first car. And the promise is on. Yeah. Made them say give yourself 3-4 days each week. And for Buso. Out of the everyday codes one of those days we have 4-5 odds codes. Okay. I'll be I don't know 10 odds, 8 odds, 9 odds. Go for first car. And then we cry the week in Kona we now when you be 3 times in the week. Yes, when you 3 times I show you tomorrow. A lot of codes, and only say the good thing is that any code no, and then boom back open it is no can anyadi, and you cry 2-3. It's the boys the first can say who team ya, and then you preview now. We'll give the codes.
Okay.
It's all the timing. Say we follow 50 man for on Twitter by this time on Saka. We follow on Facebook by this time on Saka. Or Telegram group on Saka. Or WhatsApp channel also on Saka. Or WhatsApp groups also on Saka. But I'll give you the analysis and explain to you why you should pick those codes.
Okay.
It's any about bigger on that. I come on.
And minimum tier for Yenchawe. Na Yaman Cram for no Sakwa baby. Young quarter car front na Yenin Kobo. Minimum baby Abessa said the FA. Now, what's a matter the DNA that's so. Awana.
It's from the front page of Sport. The league is over
for Madrid.
Who said 3 or 4 days ago? Now make catch Rich said, "Who is a league? You know, Barcelona." Yesterday probably granted Madrid the slightest opportunity. Say, oh, okay. Barcelona foreign some injuries be. Rafinha and Mbaye fully. Lamine Yamal Pra. Barcelona are going to play against Getafe away from home today. It is one of the games that in the last few years Barcelona break pass and when your results. In fact, in all the bets close and it's very careful when it comes to Barcelona match, because in the Barcelona air away and the fact that Madrid is also giving them an extra breathing space, maybe there can be a blip in time match. So it was a big opportunity for Team your friend of Football Club Real Madrid to do the job against Team your friend of Betis in Seville. It couldn't happen. Madrid they can't share first goal. Iti, and no one coding out tell you that a go. We knew that it was going to be a go. There wasn't too much confidence in Madrid beating a winning match because Betis if one force it, so almost in Europe. And that is what lets our game now acquire. I mean, Madrid for now Adiana can be motivate you largely to push for the rest of the season was to eliminate Bayern Munich from the Champions League and then feel like okay, there's more to play for in the Champions League. But Oshe the way I almost try against Bayern Munich Anfa and then went away from home. And in the manner in which Bayern Munich for the year free automatically it dimmed the spirit and in the light of Football Club Real Madrid. So it meant that they had to essentially just manage the rest of the season. And to watch Madrid after that game against Bayern Munich, it has always been a little bit lackluster, not too flamboyant as you expect them to be, especially at a time where Barcelona gave them a hint. So it was 7 points, now 9 points straight up. And Madrid for 8 points between almost any team for the Football Club Barcelona. No, it was another disaster. And this is the list. After Bayern Munich second leg game, the win against, if you look at this, 1-1 draw against Girona, went away to go and lose 2-1, and then Mallorca, of course, I'm not sure Robert Tisa, Kobo draw on them. It has been tough. Real Madrid have conceded in 90th minute this season, 91st minute, 90th minute, 93rd minute, and of course 93rd minute. And now the big question is going to be that the season in India, do you keep Alvaro Arbeloa or are you going for a different coach? And for me, I don't think Alvaro Arbeloa has done enough. Not Xavi and M5. And they say, okay, we want somebody in-house to steady the ship. In situations like that, say, you're over to steady the ship. For you to be able to get a job permanently, you should be able to do past what the person was doing earlier on. But Xavi is second. Xavi no Lusu matches bisa. It's the same thing that Arbeloa has done. So Arbeloa has not done enough to show that he can take the Madrid job on. And if in the summer Madrid are looking for a new manager, I think it's in the right direction.
When Adebayo shift where in the Fabra a medal kakra for mame ha send e be betimi ama emu adaho edi amame nti pacho yeguso I think say betimi ayo okay yeni nkobo.
Yeah, and I make say for Madrid to be able to go onto the markets this summer, they need to find a new manager. The conversation around Mauricio Pochettino, Munya, I'm not enthused.
When you are there about Madi Timmy, a hard guinea pa, and no ama, say, Oka say, Madi da Kofumu, Bia Beja, say, but you answer Madi Timo, Omusili show. Yeah. At the diamond to be a Madi that can't bet. Shadi Adiba Stasi Adiba, Madi Lusu, Doris Satam Madi DJ, exactly, at the winning matches. Yeah.
On last game, Omuba against Girona, Cranamantia say, look at the time Madrid conceded. And Mallorca like this, what it can. Yeah, but poor match and then you concede again.
And very serious.
It is over to you, Jolati, from the point of view of Barcelona. And then Osho game Omuba. In the points gap between almost any football club Real Madrid, they have a game in hand, but it's 82 points for Barcelona, 74 points for football club Real Madrid. And of course, Minimse Barcelona can kiss and feel the Spanish La Liga never.
I know, I'm bias. I have a paper boy, see. Yeah.
Oh, imagine. You see, for Barcelona, me just say La Liga ne geni yomude. See, your Barcelona for be argument, so yeah, just Spanish La Liga, but that was not a dream. Last season, I bet Barcelona a free move in the semi-final of the Champions League against Inter Milan. At that point, they felt that maybe I can say this season they would have gone on to the final of the Champions League. Then this time in the quarter-final, rather they are out. And maybe Barcelona a little bit lucky that we've gotten to the point of the season as a deciding sider, but already we're really Spanish La Liga, no, because Lamine Pra, Rafinha Suaba Bepra. So two very important players for team and friend football club Barcelona, no, and at a point that's supposed to be the crunch time. Imagine if Barcelona were going to the semi-final of the Champions League to face Arsenal,
difficult
without Lamine, without Lewandowski, without Rafinha. Oh, my team will be huge. But now it's about Barca managing the rest of the games. No, Omuba against Getafe away from home. At the start of the collision, Barcelona don't find it easy. And Borderless, stubborn. Baby on that in the fight for relegation, baby on that this season in terms of what he wants to get for the team, very, very tough. One of the managers in the Spanish La Liga, owning a bar, you feel like you suffer. Unfun easy. And then I'm very certain, say, away from home. Even if Barca will get the results against Etafia, they will finish the season and they will know, say, Masha, Omar Brim. It is a very tough one. Again, there is an opportunity for them to also qualify onto Europe. I don't think they know, say, they will get a job done. Yeah? Barcelona versus Getafe. September 1, or 3-0. At away at the Coalition, or 1-1. Barcelona Fusion 1-0. Barcelona Fusion 4-0. Again, the last time out on the 13th of August, El Coliseum 0-0. We are betting picks of 1.5 and a 3.5. Barcelona will draw because you have to be very careful when you are going away to go and play against team friend Getafe, especially in a season that only European competition and they are in it. And Barcelona, so when you can't league, mathematically, almost 1 more step, 2 more steps, they are there, they would have won the league. Madrid has also slipped it. It's a chance I want to share somebody's going to slip off. I mean, medical reports in the you know, they are not certain that Obeko World Cup. 100% certain Obeko World Cup. What they are certain of, and if you read Lamin's right up now, it's a certain season where the Omobi Barcelona.
Okay.
But when it comes to the World Cup, they want to take it step by step. There's a similar injury as Steva Williams winger, hamstring.
Yeah.
And for both of the players, Lamine would have to make a decision. Whether if you do surgery, no World Cup.
Okay.
If according to Mohamed Cruz, there will be alternative medicine, World Cup. But that also means after the World Cup, there's a probability of that recurring.
Yeah.
And that is the issue. Meaning, so you're a young player, you rather go and play the World Cup and not do the surgery and risk that injury recurring in your career, or you make sure somebody else surgery and then go on and then go and play next season and wait for it. And then what we're expecting is that Barcelona will go into it without Lamino, Ombomo, Joan Garcia, Gerard Martin, Pau Kubasi, Conde. Then there's just be João Cancelo, Pedri, Dani Olmo, De Jong, Fermin Lopez, Ferran Torres, and then Branty, friend Gavi. Stubborn side and Barcelona. I think that and you're very, very careful. You stand at a double chance of Barcelona and then you go and you find success at home. But that's why experts in making sure you're one of the best coaches in winning. In the Spanish La Liga, at par 70 points. Gabby, Abra City Koshe.
Are you talking about the Premier League?
In English Premier League. Abra City Koshe Arsenal no. Now your ball game you City a winning match. The conversation was that City were outstanding match. Obaba against Burnley. So Obaba have that league so. And so we are sending games that are down to goal difference. Did you expect Cinema City to be winning game by just 1-0 now?
No, be I expect because be them saying they City there, and then I'm saying the woman
especially when it can come down to goal difference.
We'll be expecting. The
expectation was that going to mention 5-6.
Yeah.
Like goals. For me, that would have been the stamp of authority. Say City Belgium League, you know.
Is it goals? I say, if
you look at the goal difference, 37. Then they look at goals for and goals against. Goals against Arsenal, Man City at 29. Goals against Arsenal at 26. Goals for 66, 63. So that is what is making a difference now. And the same number of game drawn, same number of losses this season. They are at par on all levels.
Wow.
But this is the most interesting thing that you should look at. So watch the title race and how it has unfolded. Obia Air cannot catch and say, Arsenal have been on top of the table for 200 days plus. But this is the trajectory. Arsenal have gone. Most of the times, they were on the ascendancy.
And Arsenal the other Cocono na City the
any area.
Okay.
And Arsenal, the English Premier League Athletics Supercomputer, no, Arsenal 64.5% of winning the league still. 64.5% of winning the league still.
Okay.
Man City 34.6% of winning the league this season when it comes to the games. Again, who was top of the league on each day? The match day 1, match day 2, match day 3. Now, maybe I read behind Arsenal. And at some point, Liverpool. Now, look, most of them are Arsenal. Most of them. In fact, for September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, vast majority Arsenal and on top.
So, Kofi, Mami Nya Nisem Pacho, mo amutie o radio so na ebia na de afifi kan ahwe a wonti ase ye. Obetimi adwane e wo ye YouTube handle. Oba YouTube handle a eno eye Nhyira TV. Eye calendar ana ode ato better during match days. Time obi apiki a wo win and the screen so Kofi afitu aso fam.
Exactly. So Arsenal for win on top of the Premier League for vast number of days. Most of the days, that's true. Now they are at par with Manchester City. In fact, Manchester City for almost, and that's where people are beginning to ask questions about it. I think that after say Arsenal drew Champions League, one of those games, in the post-match analysis, I said something, and I've said it several times. The point where I think Arsenal would have won the league is if they beat the psychological blockade all players not dreaming, essentially manager not dreaming, and it has been a part of their lives in the last few years since Mikel Arteta took charge. If they beat that psychological blockade, then they'll really be able to get to the point where they can win. What did I mean by that? Arsenal for the Carabao Cup final, and for me, for a club that got for a trophy drought for almost 6 years and more. Na Adebako Muhia is to get one trophy, no matter how small it is. Winning doesn't mean say you have to automatically win the ultimate, which is the Premier League. But it was about winning the Carabao Cup first, and that's what I meant by getting something empirical to prove to Omomo, say, oh, we can win a trophy. Then you build from there, because if Arsenal had beaten Manchester City to win the Carabao Cup, and Confono money to win the league, we've beaten them to the Carabao Cup. It makes sense psychologically. Yeah. So, okay, even over the years, we've gone on a trophy drought. For us to be able to win the Carabao Cup from your bitterest rivals, quote unquote, in terms of this season, it puts them in a strong psychological point of view to go on for the rest of the matches.
At least a mental boosted more.
Exactly.
Boost your confidence.
Exactly.
And now tell your opponent and say, you mean business.
Exactly. Since Russia, right after Arsenal lost that final, results began to plummet.
I just say, do.
Okoko ball, Bino for Leverkusen, Obrey, away from home. The 2 Champions League games were even Porto. You know, but Sporting, 0-0 there, 1-0 here.
Very
Bino for Leverkusen, Kobo 1-1 woho. Arsenal baby winning waha. Then look at the games in the Premier League. Southampton in the FA Cup. It's clearly a psychological block that Arsenal are going through.
Okay.
But you see, in the season, if you look at the table, Manchester City have won and lost and drawn games the same as Arsenal.
Yeah.
The difference is that Man City had their bad times and as blip, at a time where it didn't really matter. Early in the season, December, November, September, nobody cares because he enjoyed trophy. But for Arsenal, they have been on top from the graph I showed you all through. But when it matters most, they have sunk. And that is where the biggest problem is. It is a almost a Mikel Arteta or pre-match press conference name. Now Oka say, oh, there is belief, there is fire. We want to. It is because psychologically he is trying to guide his players out of the darkness. Say, Charlie, we want to watch it. Just a bad time. The good thing for me is that Arsenal are playing against a Newcastle side that have been pathetic this season. In Newcastle versus Arsenal, I would have said that the league is gone. Because Arsenal cannot go and beat Newcastle away, no matter how bad Newcastle have been. In the last few games away from home, only Newcastle edging. But when they play here at the Emirates, Arsenal tend to find a way. And I think that today is going to be the day of reinvention from Arsenal for I think that only team are in Newcastle, they will get the job done. Yes, fitness update with Bukayo Saka and Calafiori can now come back. Uti Eddie Howe. Also, we are very determined to put things right, to win as many games as we can. We need to perform for most of our supporters. Of course, as the possible lineup, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Piero Nkapi, and David Raya. Able make it a back line. Martin Udegaard, Martin Ibanez will be mainly Declan Rice. Then, of course, Noni Madueke, Victor Gyökeres, and our brother friend Emre Eze will come there. Of course, at home, our Arsenal there. I expect that Arsenal will manage to get a job done now.
But remember to as well, but the mentality of Pep Guardiola ekrano. And there are times other coaches will be adapted to. Because watch in matches and answer Lisa, what we need now say echo the die MS of the league, you know, I know picky. Because Arsenal the BI or man, Liverpool the BI or man. So there na Premier League coaches, you know. I won't tell me a Pep Guardiola this had any boom because any first time I happen. It happened. But still now you should that
I think
that is not the way.
The number one thing he experienced because the first season Antonio Conte in the J League, you know, with Chelsea. It was after that and over started Zorgi. Now I think that with time he had experienced certain things. So because at time any players need prepare. So Washa in the general transfer window, Man City don't hesitate to buy.
Okay.
Once a lot of clubs feel like, oh,
January,
Man City says so problem in January they buy. Koto Nico Gonzalez and Komabeye Rodri, Juman Rodri, Gonzalez and Sheriff Timanya. Tijani is on the bench. Matthew Kovac, they are sitting somewhere. He brought on Magui, Ogokofa, Antoine Semenyo. Bam, bam, hits the ground running. Abdul Kadir Kosinov, Wamani time out on the last year January. This year January, he's working out. Bam, on national team in him. John Stones is not part. Ruben Diaz is a player. They don't hesitate to go into the market in January. For a lot of the teams in January, they won't buy. Oh, you're managing young Kosama. But for them, and also because they have built a certain reputation, to the extent it's a January bar, players don't mind moving to City.
Okay.
But for a lot of players, they don't want to move in January. But for City, you are sure of what you get. You are going to work with the best manager in the world. Plus, team will be actually, you know, you would want to move in January. And that's what solved them. And the data shows it. In the last 4 or 5 seasons, a do last 10 games, I remember the season.
No City.
Who should be that?
That
is the data. Data, they say. At least for the last 4 seasons. A do last 10 games, a year, every season, a Pepe also one match cry.
Wow.
Yes. So you are up against this kind of data.
So other clubs no move one and no need problem no.
Oh, it is not an undoing of the other clubs. It's because Man City have Bob Branded baby.
Okay.
And you're able to command those things.
Okay.
You need some level of success and its sustainability to be able to get to the level of Manchester City in terms of signing money. For me, I still think Arsenal will win the league. I think Arsenal will win the league. I think Arsenal will win the league, you know. And it starts on my when they go against Newcastle United.
Young Quay.
Semenka na Mamenka.
Yeah, relegation na Tottenham.
But Minyanka Tottenham in relegation.
Okay. Winyaya
onko
nanka onko
ani
sa nanka lende hono so enjo kakra sa na person kan
Minyanka Tottenham relegate yo
but Kudus nso
oh be team abo
sa
ana Tottenham relegation e say Koto Kudus need to buy more Kudus if Tottenham are relegated. Yeah. Now, and then on game no boni very interesting because I'm go with Wolverhampton. I'm go with Wolverhampton Wanderers. And for Wolves, they are condemned. Omuko away to the Molineux.
And tell it in the crying yet. Me koda de intimidate.
And the other coming say they see a match is that there will be a lot of goals.
Oh, okay.
I've sat down and realized Kwako drew the last part of the season. Relegation games, none goes to them. In general, when Nottingham Forest beat Sunderland by 5 goals, I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
Because I knew that they were going to goals. I think the match they are going to be goals. Personally, on the lighter side, Nhyira must be relegated because the players go on the team.
Tell any 2 years more anyway. Kudus between Kudus and Xavi Simons.
The women the Simons have been paid.
Simons be.
Nya Kudus na kaminya Mickey van der Ven be share chile on man kameji.
Okay. Sa na Kutie.
Kuti umero red card semdoro.
Yemu di card that. Na so aba beka.
Red card semdoro. So I'll look away from him. But that game, I know that there are going to be goals, and Roberto Di Zerbi most likely looks like Obeyajuma. And I'll look at this again. It confirms what I'm saying. Open 2026 Premier League goals calendar now. Tottenham Hotspur conceded 30. Wolverhampton Wanderers according to 21. The Bogo Musa. So today I'm expecting that there are going to be some goals. Of course, Nyamia would much there is an FA Cup. I did catch Chelsea FA Cup in the fighting spirit. And you see, the Chelsea board felt that there's still something small to fight for.
Okay.
Sometimes, so what means is our culture. It gives the players the fighting spirit and the breathing space to work.
Be a person improving now, coaching is or impressing.
Yeah. Namuasimika. When Chelsea go through the season, they need to get culture. What is Enzo Maresca? Like, I don't use the word experience because experience can be anything. But to be a firm, because I feel like Chelsea boys were those that push for Liam to go.
Yeah. That's it.
Liam Ko, Kalu McFarlane, I'm a fair man. They see Leeds United started Chelsea problems in now. So Becca. Liam Bayno, you need Leeds match. And ended up drawing that game. And at Burnley, the same thing. You took the lead last minute energy degree. That was from then. Before the Paris Saint-Germain match and and for me, that is how the modern day football is about. Once results begin to plummet, fans begin to look at you at the side of their eyes. But when Liam started, everybody sang a song. They will sack you. It's unfortunate that this are but Chelsea should find a way. Almost a competition. Manchester City is 7 times winners of the FA Cup. Chelsea 8 times winners of the FA Cup. Southampton a 1-time winner of the FA Cup. And Leeds United a 1-time winner of the FA Cup. So City start today at Wembley when they play against Tima, your friend of Leeds United. I expect no against Southampton.
City.
Southampton have been solid in the games that they've played, but City on a good form. I think they will go on to the final FA Cup. I like Nhyira Kalu McFarlane pre-match press conference.
Yeah.
Yes, simple.
2 money number 2 na.
Fina. Abelu adi na ebia. Simple.
Michael Carrick di na ebia. Then ya monfa Carrick nyamfa.
Michael Carrick. NDM one man be complicating you.
Okay.
He didn't try to come and make it look like at this point in time of the season, steady the ship. 4-2-3-1 now ball 4-2-3-1 here compact without the ball. We need duels, we need match. Upon 4 matches they could here. In the summer, what can you Chelsea for? It's in Chelsea coach never meets me assistant. That is what you do. And that's what Kalu McFarlane is doing. Oh, Chelsea, and then I like the pre-match press conference.
Okay.
That is the only reason why Liam Rossinier left. So maybe a season there is an FA Cup that possibly Chelsea can win.
To manage Nhyira.
Yes.
No team didn't win it.
Yes. Mathematically, Chelsea are still out of the Champions League qualification rates.
Yeah.
It's still possible. If you're able to build your things well and get the results in these games, you go in there and make sure so it's in your Champions League.
But when Empire me bopa, I say, one is there sitting here as nepre. Pran could do the last game in the Premier League. Omo focus nyina wo ho nanka FA Cup. You really can't go FA Cup na say no mabo the last game no. Enti kawe no mo de focus no wo ha nanka haze ni enu mo ko ba omo Premier League na age. Na Premier League FA Cup the other day. Nanka chesa nka yamani afa ho. Enu Empire me bozisi na nyasa na Arsenal mo biem se gwom dia akovi ho betire ana kwa ha.
Adia Chelsea here a win of some sort.
Okay.
Analysis giddy be Chelsea need to find a way to get confidence back, get belief back, and say beating against an Leeds timer, Leeds sider. Why a tone in the flesh of the players a bit.
Okay.
Psychologically, I think it's a boost for them. Leeds if wanna how if they can use that as an intrinsic motivation to start a game and turn their season around with the last few games to go a bit. The good thing is that Joao Pedro back. Kupama back.
Okay.
We're expecting say Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos will be in the team. Kukurea, Chaloba, Fofana, and Gusto should be good enough against a very, very stubborn 3-back play sider. I'm pressing aggressively. It's not going to be easy. Quite I'm much up at Wembley, but I'm expecting that Chelsea Fono every team in BB at a free match. I think that we've touched almost everywhere.
Okay.
Our English Premier League. The only plays I mean say just the few games Rebecca back in between the lines of Premier League game. Liverpool play against Crystal Palace. Me expect goals beba Osama match in West Ham United beba against Everton. Another huge relegation conversation. Everton wants to go and play in Europe. West Ham United wants to stay in the league. It should be a big one, of course, on Monday. Team my friend Manchester United against team my friend Brentford. We'll see how things are going.
But quick one. France free kakra for my RCD loans. Any PSG. This year no back to back. We caught now we are back.
And long any start Brestois and a Brest any boy. Now let me follow game. Who said last week? Let me walk Friday say boy against one of the teams. Now first half no that come form by 2-0. On my tete share winning game by 3-2. I remember exactly where I was. I think I was at Nami either West Hills Mall and I say Bibisa. You can't phone on now I'm a bit tiashi.
No, Toulouse game.
I'm ready to lose.
On the 17th. Yeah.
2 goals. I don't make say Toulouse 3-2. It's now first half no. Now Brest show me 3-0. Messi okay, me reason meet me atia. The last minute Alex and Max play 3. See, because of the momentum shift on those 2 games now. And then push Paris Saint-Germain match but AG or there.
How many Angus never?
Or more Angus away from home. I am very, very worried. Depending on what happens in that game.
Okay.
Me who they are causing the least game long game so I think Long will win this French Liga. I just feel, I mean, it's just a prediction.
Okay.
It came off the top of my head. Based on the momentum.
I'm going to come back no more year.
You don't know my year back to back. And I'm saying, no. And they're all away from home. And I'm saying, okay. These guys, one should beat Team League. I want to see tonight what happen between Paris Saint-Germain and Angers.
Okay.
Again, because of that, I've been very shrewd with Paris Saint-Germain matches because I know scanning share and also be very careful with it. That is what I think will happen in the French League. Yeah, team for code. And now I Saturday here. You don't have to do yourself any disservice because boys they find their first car on a daily basis. Of who this can be the year more money. Tigap my member quotes no. First one no BW 50 C1 EB 14. That is the first one. Second one BW 50 C1 B536. Third one BW 50 C1 7256. Fourth one BW 50 C1 4A3D. Fifth one BW 50 C1 0C1E. And I'm a bonus for Saturday. It's an on BW 50 C0 C1BF. Yeah, me that's.
Well, Nhyira FM so any egusa yede the weekend edition Nhyira Power Sports no e de downward. Yaga to say you show no live e wo YouTube handle nti uko YouTuber na odo comment e de aba na yakenkan e de am pacho e ya subscribe o subscribe ya na eno so etimi aye kama na eja anytime bia e be call live no so no wonso wonsa etumi aka better jaw messages wo ho ebrepem ye be kenkan nyina e de am we service Saturday dia de ye ma ye call us no more time ama mo so mo ba adwumadie so enti ente ye ba fia ye be ma mo more time na mo so matimi de madwenkyere e de aba adwumadie so Josia Holotu enso e de eko tactical board no so na ye di nkomo kakra na yahwede we no so esi etie ewo ye nhihia ahodo nyina so na atumi aboanti no but o messages no kugya fama ye na the game obia eka ho asem ye enra Madrid wo mu game wo mu eboye atese we no antimi ama in fact dodo na aka so bebre se dia ye de omu fancy players o sɛ ɔmo van yɛ coach ɔmo angasa head ho Madrid fo na nkasa ɔmo mu atemienu ebi fiu sɛ players no ammo wo mu game yie ahofam ɔmo de bo game no that ɛni so ɛni ntina ama ɔmo ba be wie baby a wo mu ebi mpo sɛ coach nyaade a players no nso nda so ba bia de atumi sɛ style of resilience bi wo mu match winning mentality bi wo mu a anko betumi awene matches edi ama Madrid but yehunu sa Josia good morning
Gabby morning
na empome ye de
me adom na wo se
na me adom ye wo ye eja Madrid nkoyemo ya ana ama akwakofa asem edi aba ama no pay Barca Force League de omadia ne sa menim baby apese odi ye chance fini baby apese oni ewi
nti ano pay ye nche etiefo Gabby what you say it's not rocket science say Real Madrid go through what they are going through this season. No, it's not. And yet, idea I was thinking a shocking amount for Bebre. Say a Pam Xabi Alonso, the former player, Fufraba, Arbeloa, and the expectation is that he will turn things around overnight. No, Gabi, it is not. Things don't happen that way. Nintia make us and say. Across board 2026 year teams will be a palm coaches and every team has their own special reason in tia or my palm coaches, but when you come to the Real Madrid side no you can tell for a fact say the Xabi Alonso reason on the palm free team and they say the friction between himself and some players no it got to a point it was irreparable and the way it was affecting the performance on the pitch no there was no way opening Florentino Perez would have sat down to allow such a thing to happen. So what happened? We need free and the Arbeloa buy and you can tell say Arbeloa coming in has become more comfortable with A players no but Gabi, it will take a lot of time, preparation and effort to get Real Madrid to a optimum level of Ubianim se wasn't Real Madrid operating from that level. So what am I saying? Inka Arbeloa a whole pre-season and on Real Madrid a pre-season no enter the season from the beginning there's a likelihood we would have seen a better Real Madrid. Because take Vinicius for example. Vinicius' goal scoring record under Arbeloa is far better than what we saw under Xabi Alonso. So imagine if the season had begun with Arbeloa. But Enuna, as a Florentino Perez and Peso Bejiatum, because at this point, it looks almost certain, say, season number year, Obepam Arbeloa. But is that the way to go? On one Casano board, no, they don't side with him. What Omujitum say the best way to go about the situation, and they say allow Arbeloa to play preseason with the boys. Okay. What will happen? Season the year, you go World Cup. Into a World Cup near bar. Then let Arbeloa carry the team to preseason. Momumbo preseason you. Then you can understand that at least the philosophy that Arbeloa wants to implement on the team, in Fitiasie, they will understand it totally before the season begins.
Oh, okay.
That is what the board have said and told Florentino Perez. But no one person obejiatum because on say another idea that people are throwing into the ring and they say Real Madrid is a club that is elite, top level performance. Now what say they be omdema omo fans any omo uncrofo. Enti someone will be say dia go for a well trained coach with a big name. Now on samba back embeji ejumano. Now over dressing room now at least the presence alone will command a certain respect. Number one. Number two, the players will play their heart out. To say the young performers, Oti uncrofo say, oh, ye progressive bona, or mu progressive, ye kase ye defender, players need be. But if you bring a coach who is at the top level, to be say Carlo Ancelotti, the type of caliber now, you elicit a certain performance from the players that an Arbeloa cannot get.
Oh, okay.
And now conversation now Nkrofobi so air throw into the ring. But Rich, if Gabby, if you ask me what I really believe must be done at Real Madrid, and they say they need to understand that club no is going through a certain revolution. The days of Yenfa big name Embra, I mean, I can understand the reason why the fans want that. And I say Obia Beka say Real Madrid deserve that.
Because Omaye is used to.
Omaye used to that. But Gabby, Real Madrid need to understand, say, Arbeloa has shown a certain sign or glimpse of success that he can take the team on. And yes, I believe say Obaye no Real Madrid will do worse than this.
Oh, okay.
But at least Obaye no, we have seen the kind of promise that he can restore in team IFN or Real Madrid. So keep him there. Keep him there. Say season about the way Florentino Perez was on the team command. On an instance, what are your challenges? Okay, unya players say. Yanko for Mumra. And then we can strengthen the squad and then we can move forward. Because year, this season, getting to the tail end, Arbeloa is using more of Nkolano. Sepitach more.
Yeah.
And you can see that inexperience the inexperience of Pitach is affecting their performance. So if it's about players, only Florentino Perez and Tenassi, okay, let's approach it this way. There's this player, there's that player, there's this player, 3, 4, 5 players here for Mumbra. Then let's psych them up for the season. I believe I know Ebeboa Real Madrid. Now, I'll say another game no. Maybe I share highlights on my share full game. And there was one thing I noticed.
Okay.
Vinicius Junior no. He has become very comfortable under Arbeloa. And share the kind of performance put it up and run. The only thing that you would say it's a big problem for Real Madrid now. And it's and the concentration level. Because their teams are the kind of performance they will put up against you, especially in the dying embers of the game. If your awareness level is not that high, you throw in the towel at the point where you think you are comfortable winning the game. Real Madrid shared 2 goals. And then Obe considers our last goal now. It's not a problem. But after the first goal, it looks like performance level no drop here. And Omani now also then just a simple mistake from Ferland Mendy. And then kuku pem go. About this 1-1, you got only 1 point. But if the remaining games are okay, they want to do anything that can get them closer to Barcelona. I think that they cannot even surpass them because Barcelona at this point they are gone.
Okay.
But if there's anything they can do to get closer, I was say more attention span and attention or more concentration level, no, especially in the final 10 minutes of the game, no, it has to be high.
But the question is, why are you installing them? Why do man?
I believe, say you have heard, say at this point in the season, no, a lot of it is not down to coaching per se.
Okay.
A lot of it is down to mentality. And nothing I ask now for no.
Okay.
But nothing I ask now for no. A lot of people are attributing their slump facing over the last few games to mentality. Because after 5 games, everybody knows that this is the crunch time. Formation tactics they are from the beginning of the season till now. It is who say you deserve to win a premiership title or you deserve to win a La Liga title. Not when to me and can't who say I need to put up my A game or my best performance. Gabby, there's nobody who can do that for you. Not even the coach. Not even the coach. It's Real Madrid have to understand that principle. That when it gets to a certain point in the game, at such a crucial moment of the season, you don't go and lose concentration and throw away goals like that. It's if Felan or Shusha Foul, no, he needs to question himself. Because I can understand, say, Abia, the situation could not give him the freedom to do what he wanted and not all from. But if you had managed to get even one additional goal in the earlier part of the game, you didn't have found yourself in this situation. Come on, 1-2-1. At least when you have 3 points. Say, Kakra Mekafa Real Madrid for situation. No. Gabby, still in the La Liga, and then Barcelona bebo get turfy. Na answer na meba na mene Andy na yedin komobina or share me videos be about Getafe for the way they set up to play against teams aye share in the La Liga. And there was one interesting thing me hear about this Getafe team. Say normally no, you will get a team like Getafe play very conservative football. Because even though this season the modern ball was so kakra, but on your part of the top, even the top 3 or top 5 teams.
No.
But Osha Bodalas not team now was setting up for Getafe. And the ball more bona. Typically they play in a mid block. And some mid block no. The kind of formation and the kind of setup or the ammonia points or to perform the way they have performed this season, and they say they try as much as possible to confuse the opponent. Only you will think that they have parked the bus. You will think that they want to prevent you from scoring. Yes, they want to prevent you from scoring, but they have a very superior way of playing to frustrate you, the opponent, and to get you to be confused. They will get 1 goal or they will get 2 goals, and then they manage to take the points away from you.
Okay.
So a mid block is not a high press or a low block team. Obeka say or defend it to win just a point, and also or defend it to prevent you from scoring. But Obu in Fifi Intino were crowded in Fifi to prevent you from passing the ball in between them. Now ultimately chance crowd to pass the ball in between them, then they tactically foul you. Into that foul that they create on you, no, will destabilize the team. The flow of passing that you already have, that you have established, no, it will break it down as well. And then Barcelona should be very careful about that kind of play.
Me share one more matches or Mabo.
Yeah.
Since 26th January.
Good.
This year. Our lose 2 matches twice. So since then, lose 2 matches in twice. So ebia ombenya 1 loss to be a 1. But say ombenya 2 at twice.
It tells you the tactical superiority of Bodalas and the kind of setup of Obo. Typical mid block.
Okay.
They will suffocate the middle there, prevent you from passing the ball in between them. They tactically foul you, and when they foul you, the way I arrange with team now, say a quiet passing around them, no, not a say BBR, and they do this for most part of the game. And when they get their chance, they capitalize on it. When you 1 goal, I say, when you 3 points, or the baby, and there's a Barcelona Binya Acuña Etinya, but the kind of game they want to play against Getafe. It means they have to be alert the full game. They have to be alert from 0 minutes to 90th minute. Because Osha Highliner Hansi Flick every season, he has become very stubborn with it. In games, who say, wash your first goal, wash your second goal, and you expect say, Obed dropping Highline, a whole crown or the Highline, economy. And now you don't have players like Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Swepra for a very long time. 2 key players are on any day you expect, say, Omujina Genima, they'll get a goal for you. So now you don't have typical goal scorers. You have to rely on Nkofobiti say Fermin Lopez to create the chances for you. Ferran Torres to be in front of the attack. But if you are playing against Getafe, who are very stubborn, it means you have to be very careful. In Tiedano, I would expect say, even if he doesn't want to drop the high line, Hansi Flick na make if he doesn't want to drop the high line, or making sure say formation of Bebono will not give Getafe a leeway. Say omubenya chances because they don't create too many chances. They try more to suffocate the opponent. Now on your chance bakubia or the ashe ono no nya more chances ono no be exploit o high line no obeshaw. In this game a banana skin, proper banana skin, because the last time Barcelona echo Getafe equation was 2019. Achekakra. This over 6-7 years or 7 years. So it is imperative on Hansi Flick say he will go into this game with a superior tactic. A woman say Omudikain with about 84 points in the La Liga. But Gabby, you don't want to give Real Madrid any chance to believe say 5 games now can maximum points they will come close.
The point is 82
74. Sorry. You don't want to give them any chance to believe say in the remaining games if they try and do something they can get back. Into Barcelona for the no. Now Gabby, let's come to the English Premier League. Because even though we have FA Cup game City ne Southampton bebo no, Arsenal ene Newcastle enso bebo. Now, Gabby, just answer na member na me share Rodri Cascanti a video bia na all kase. That was after Omone Arsenal for game amubo Etihad just last week no. And I know all kase. It is about the mentality. And I've said it just right here. So when we get to this point in the season, it's about the mentality, Gabby. You can't. There's nothing else you can do to the players. And as now for they will be in a state of deja vu. Bro, deja vu means a situation now. I say, happened to you in the past. Now, say see now, live a brabon. You can feel say, adia is see ya no. A say betu bim. That's what we call a deja vu. That is what Arsenal are feeling right now. Because look at the last 4 seasons. Oma bottle league no a number of times. Until if you are in a position in a situation where Manchester City for as abesan on superior goals, definitely a lot of things will be going on in your mind about what you can do to save yourself. At that same instance, also you are thinking about the AC last season. Say, that is where I've always said, say, Arteta needs to speak to his players. It's not any other once be now okay. Once now you have to continue to re-echo it to the players. So you have it within you to win the league. You have played the whole season. You have followed the instruction. You have used set pieces to score the most goals. You have done all of that. But at this crunch moment, everything is going on here. And when we say Julian Timber Ombo ene we pra, Calafiori we pra, Bukayo Saka we pra. Arteta is confused whether to use Gyökeres or Kai Havertz in front there. Those things have also come in to affect the Arsenal team. So as they are struggling with mentality issues, they are also struggling with fitness problems. I must say Arteta no problem no abemi. And Ubisamia, I really feel say this is the time also unkonya more GDA or Gyökeres. I can understand Kai Havertz coming into play against Manchester City. Shego or Shea, he was very smart to close in on Aya Donnarumma. But if you want a typical goal scorer, you don't go for Kai Havertz. You don't go for Victor Gyökeres. Yes, Martin Krophobia say yes, Victor Gyökeres is not the very. He's not really found his feet in the season, but you need to still help him understand that he's a goal scorer in the team. That is his work. Kai Havertz no or your player bia he can play in pockets of space. Ultimate man assignment be say ye we ma me obeye. But Gyökeres is the goal scorer of the team. So he needs to be empowered with that notion and mindset. Say in this game, I need to go and score. Gabby, Newcastle have their own issues. Newcastle this season, after say Omulusu to Barcelona in the Champions League, no, a lot of belief has been taken away from them. Now, Osha performance no so you can attribute it to the fact say after say Omoton Alexander Isak, the expectation was that they were going to the market to get more players. After this season, Sandro Tonali, I think he will leave the team.
Yeah.
Or say Anthony Gordon, and so he's being chased by a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Until you can imagine what will become of Newcastle even after the season. Look at the troubles they are going through. Because in common season they were not too bad. But also as the season progressed, their problems have been exposed. Obisamia, this game a banana skin kakra, but as the phone him say it's a must win. Because you cannot throw this game away and tell me say you expect to win the league. Because City, they have made up their mind that every game they will win. Because if you have been second or third, or you have not even had a good season throughout, now at this point you have managed to surpass Arsenal on goal difference, or you have also on superior goals, sir. Your expectation is that you will win the remaining games, no matter what you can do to win, you will do it. Now, moment to not be due on my side, because after they purchased Antoine Semenyo in January and Magehi in January, they have plugged two of their biggest problems in defense and attack. Shego Antoine Semenyo dia mom. And I can say for a fact that if they continue like this, games are cano, they will definitely win. Gabby, don't forget, say Arsenal have 3 London derbies to play. Games are
the last time they can't answer no.
They have 3 London derbies to play. They will play with Crystal Palace. They will play with Fulham. They will play with West Ham. Yes, West Ham game, no. You can say West Ham is down there fighting for their life. But Gabby, to shock you, say that's the game that Arsenal will throw away the points. Because West Ham's on any break. They want to get some points and survive. So a banana skin, but I want to still go for Arsenal to win this game. Media Macan say Manchester City will win the league. I've said it. Say now no me beka say after Arsenal, what they did at the Emirates, they didn't look like a team they want to win the league. No, they are playing as though Omusu. And when you play like that, and Manchester City senses that, they are not going to forgive you.
But the other more kakao that mentality now you can answer me say after one more any Arsenal Bowie City ni Arsenal game. No Pep Guardiola a granting interview.
Yeah.
Ebeka said they can rise after the game.
Yeah.
No any players in Kasa are from the no kind say they should keep their mentality high.
Yeah.
Omunusu league ni wiye. Ombetimi fighting for the league. I'm a Pep Guardiola Babeka say enye no one say when they can rise so yes then because coach friend Mikel Arteta that thing so Mikel Arteta was that thing didn't Arsenal like mentality.
Yeah.
Because the master of mentality they say Mikel Arteta was same thing. And when the same thing, our Declan Rice move.
Yeah.
So what is happening?
And say Arsenal for they need to understand say Arteta himself is under a huge risk in the sense say if they manage to bottle this title again, there will be more questions and there will be more calls for say Yampamo Arteta. Meanwhile, not Arteta no, I cannot point my finger and say he has done anything wrong to the point say Yampamo no. No, if you ask me, even if Arsenal don't win this season, or more winning league this season now, Arteta should not be the one to be sacked. No. Keep him there. Let him do everything he can to fix the problems that Arsenal have and let them try again next season. It is easy to say, if there's an expectation to be met, NASA expectation is not met. It is the coach's fault. Yes, Mijitum say at certain times, the back will stop with the coach. But Arsenal for situation is more special, and they need to understand it from the point say, if you have not been able to cross the line, it is not just sucking the coach is not the solution to the problem.
In Arsenal case,
no, in Arsenal case, it's not. That is you cannot attribute everything to the point say, sucking Arteta will give you a guarantee to win the league next season. No,
okay,
their problems go beyond just Arteta. And Empire say Arteta will be able to rally the boys to fix their mentality, to get prepared to win games. Akano.
Okay.
So what you say? Now, Manchester City is to Omone Southampton that FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Now, Gabby, very interesting thing, and they say Southampton Omu coach a friend Tunda Eket, German guy, very pragmatic. You can tell for a fact say he's doing something special with Southampton team way. In the last 20 games, as Southampton abo, unim say we lose ye. We win 16 times and about 4 draws. Coming into this game, Manchester City will be looking at that fact. Say we want to go in and not just score them, but we want to also be very careful about the fact say about with a certain mentality almost person the bomb game. No. When you watch how Southampton for Arsenal now, Arsenal were just very absent-minded in those goals that they conceded. You'd have expected them to say they would do better. But that is also the hallmark of a team that is being coached by a German or person or Yebibi with team, no, which is what we saw in Southampton, typically how they approach the game. Very, very, very fluid, very fast. On your chance, chance now. Whatever they got, they try to convert it, and that is how they scored against Arsenal. They want to do the same thing against Man City. Unfortunately for them, Man City, no, they have won the Carabao Cup final. And it said they kind momentum on the side. They want to come into this game with the same mentality that how we won the Carabao Cup, let's implement the same strategy and try and beat Southampton in today's game. But would he rest players because Obogim we are they're coming back into the Premier League to come and see how they can grind results in the last 5 games aka. So me I will not be shocked say and best 30 players be say Savinho. Because this season Omo so many games boy we should say Omar Mamouche this season onya games boy to the extent that maybe reports Eba say I'm sure season he will leave. I don't think he should leave though, but if he leaves I won't blame him because also per playing time Obi to say Tijani Reines
Obi not to bench. Yeah.
But when you look at them, you want to get the most out of them, at least to give them the sense and the impression that they are still part of your plans. Guardiola, semi-final of FA Cup. So what you say? Because they are not bad players in themselves. It's just that they are playing a very demanding system. But I would think, say, playing these 3 players in today's game, no, a bit may boost more confidence and even help them in the last few games, because Gabby, there's one thing I was say coaches, or in my opinion, I was say coaches to me about players. There are times when you entrust a certain responsibility to them in high stakes situations, they are able to get results for you. In a team like Manchester City, say you can tell for a fact that all the players are happy about how they have been able to pass Arsenal.
Yeah.
So if a player like Savinho, game we are, it tells him or it gives him the feeling say he's also contributing to the success of the team. Obviously Omar Mamouche, now he has come into competition with Antoine Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo last 2 games out. The kind of footballer Man City was starting so goals against us now. When he had a good performance, game against Burnley, so he didn't really play so well.
But team didn't results.
So play with Mamouche. Mamouche comes in and he gives you results because he also knows that he's competing with Semenyo.
Okay.
Meaning that they make what you are saying when you involve them, they can come in and solve a problem for you. And that's what I expect, say, maybe from Guardiola. Man City have a superior advantage over Southampton.
Okay.
Except say they will have to be careful about recorder Abrantier, Tonda Iket, Edibasa game for Southampton. Now, Mami, we are Chelsea. When you said Chelsea, no, I like the fact that Chelsea, through Abrantier McFarlane, has admitted, say, on person obe discussing anything about Liam Rosinia Pama no. He's focusing on the game against Leeds United. But we should Leeds United that this season they have stolen 4 points out of a possible 6 from Chelsea. Chelsea for ball omo away no. Omo share Chelsea 3-1. Omo ba Stamford Bridge, the game was 2-2 after Chelsea took a 2-goal lead. So Leeds United will be coming into this game with that confidence. Say, even in the league, no, you have G points a free Chelsea for this season. But Chelsea, on the other hand, yes, somebody will say, new manager bounce. McFarlane any visitor to the team. Omopamo Enzo Maresca on a emerging team no, for 2 games.
Yeah.
And Sana Liam Rosinia Eba. So taking over again, he's not a new person to the team, to the players. But the players themselves need to understand, say, we have not done so well this season. If they're not any fault, the players are tired. Say they're Chaloba Airkane. And you can say that they've played so many games from Club World Cup through to the fact say even preseason they didn't get so much time to prepare and the season began to the to sacking of Enzo Maresca and all the problems that they have faced. I was say players need to motivate you to go into this game and get the result because one of way near home and away affair. You are playing at Wembley and you need to get the result. Chelsea having won a domestic trophy since the last time they won it 2018. And so if you are a Chelsea player, you would want to tell yourself that this is the time where even though we have not had a very good campaign, we can find a way to get the victory against Leeds United. But Leeds United are coming with high octane football, high pressing intensity. Until they will have to figure out how to play them out and how to get say 1 goal get that goal and find a way to defend that goal and see through to qualify for the final. Omudu final there we can discuss that as a different conversation. But against Leeds, no, Leeds have 4 points from you. They've beaten you this season. So if you are a Chelsea player, that alone should give you motivation enough. Say playing against them at Wembley where you are more or less the favorite, or I mean, people will look up to you and say that we want to see a performance from you after Liam Hussein has been sacked. No, they have to get the result against Leeds United.
Okay. Well, Joshua Olotu so Anna Martin and Kana Joya Nase. But yadi and performance so semina ediaba yakota the cardboard no so edin komo ediaman. But if you encomo so ehia pa. It say Ghana Premier League no and so bounce back match day 30 and so eba. Na Yansa from the senior national team, the Blasters of Ghana, Carlos Queiroz Enyaba were granting interview. I didn't send for questions na yetro a coach no eji ano. And then your benti yaba fan 1-1 na yedi ehon so enkomo. So Mama Insa say from the Black Stars interviewer eba so no ya Carlos Queiroz send for inshemu no. One say yebisa coach say sisi no waba oba be adwuma no edi amagana na adwuma no hu ni say wase ne coaching job away nyina be 40 years ni no we aye adwuma big challenge edi man ye pa the biggest in all na reason here all kind of the biggest in all no opinion mu dimu nchemu enso edi emaye ewo adwuma de so yentie Carlos Queiroz, Black Stars new head coach.
I know since I arrived I start to feel it that this is the soul of the Black Stars. Yesterday I saw and I feel the vibration, and I start to realize that the soul of the Black Stars is huge. It is huge. So that means that our dream and expectations are also huge. I must say that after 8 national teams and a couple of important competitions, this is the biggest challenge of all my entire career. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I can promise and guarantee to you that I will bring 40 years of my knowledge and experience to every single decision of Ghana. I am a coach, you can see in my CV, that fortunately with the help of God and my players, I have a symbolic record of wins in the game in terms of international games. And in a humble way, I can say I feel good on that. So I trust and I believe that with the support of my staff, support of the board, the support of the press, support of the friends and the fans, special, the supporters, all together, one Ghana, united.
Okay, so Carlos Queiroz, was it with the support of the entire team, technical staff, and Ghana supporters, sir, over 40 years, Juma Ryan in coach, and in national teams, coach, Obetimi, Jumano, Eddie, Amagana. Na, I don't understand for Bizans, Papa, what's the man can no, but your players are more echoes ye pa. Kwamba na befast or be manage sa players, na wetimi enyo mama bobo ye ediama Ghana na Ghana during matches no yen konko sa niam ewum anoso coach edi munchiremu edi emae.
Number one, that everybody that works with me knows that with me nobody it's above the team. The team is the best and the only player that is important for me. I don't talk about names, I don't talk about players. I only talk and care about this special player of Ghana, the team. The team, it is the most important player of our national team. Secondly, I don't think this issue of egos, it is really so special in the game as sometimes they come outside. We need egos, we need personalities in the game. We need those players together to perform. That's why they are national team players. My job is to put them together at the service of the team. That's the job of the coach. And finally, you ask me how I'm going to do that. And my answer, it is simple. the day I'm going to be private with you, I can say how I'm going to do that. But in this moment, I think the guys from Panama, they are listening our press conference.
So Carlos Queiroz, other players are every so more goes omuno na ohiomo ewo ni team omo sa na convert omo na omo timi di omo personality no book game eboa ama game no enso ekoso and this aniama no de enya de so problem kra ho kra na impo se player bi wo egua eyo no na dwuma say ohe so betime mani di sa player no ene dia coach no enso aditudwa ewo dwuma de so na owie ne ebisa now yenim so blessa na kwamba na abafa so be selection na Black Stars yetimi enya players wo muso bebo ama world cup yi o metimi akwakobo nie ano se eno so nchemu pa wo player selection ho no eno so eni.
The way we will try overcome this issue of timing, it is simple. As you should know, because I didn't have time to go to every single club, every single match in Ghana. As well, I don't have time to go to any single player, any single game in Europe. We have one team behind the scenes that is working very hard to collect all detailed information about the teams and the players, either the local players, either the foreign-based players. This is one team. I arrived here yesterday, and under the organization of the federation, we have a couple of training sessions with the top players and one game, and it will be the most easy way for me to make an observation related with the potential players from Ghana that can be in the finalists. So this was one way to create and implement a fair opportunity and the right opportunity also for the local players. After that game, I split the staff in two groups. There is one group of the staff that stay in Accra, and there is a group of members of the staff that will operate abroad. At the end, we're going to join together all the informations to make the final decision. Okay, so
the aquatic can mienu penegum. Also ni bre any one. Number 2, say kono ba fa so be the selection say ni technical team members no beche mienu. E bi betena Ghana ha. Na omahwe Ghanaian players omo around na wamomu info na fe watemu ba ko so bako amanane dia nso di info ebebro on coach na fe wakani nyina bom na wa yusu sa data no na wode aye collapse na be betimi aboa amoma yakọ world cup aso yesu etimi akonya bibipa e de afima no ye dia coach e de eba ewo dwumadie so na local players in sami ebe mu na ana Yusuf Alasan Chipsa as a Sadia coach in fact nani je papa about the local players won some na so mokasa na mokasa sam na wono Yusuf Alasan Chipsa Jono Obeka enso ewo eho enie
Fatawi Shaku, how many years did he leave Ghana? When Fatawi started playing for the senior national team, yeah, he has just left Ghana a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
He had quality when he was in Ghana. You see, but if we continue to base our discussions and debate on the fact that our local league is not well organized, the infrastructure is not there, I mean, it will get worse. We have to find our own means to promote the league and to give confidence to these players.
Okay, and Yusuf Alasan Chipsa, former Black Stars player, and PFAG, Penyino Tese, and Zania Mandia, Ebetimi Aboy, Pioneer Komakakra, Yusuf Alasan Chipsa, and so at the Tuja confirmation of Pia, sir. Siciano, Desmond of Faye, and John Pintel, and Fatau Dauda, goalkeeper trainer, women Ebeka, the new setup ya for me, na etimi Abwa Ghana. So, no iron summer and so coach is on the by there. Win. And a pa. So, I'm coming in here. Yabafie na yababedi efi enkobo. Steve Zando. Steve, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Gabby.
Na empom to say.
Yankopon do na onzo e.
Nyame ado mesome we pa. Mama nse efie 7 from free honum. Right from the interviewer a course and the abachi need their old players no so
Oh, I think that Carlos Queiroz, for me, the press conference answers now, for me, were satisfactory enough. And because we Ghana experience all these years. Wakuchi, Real Madrid, assistant coach Alex Ferguson, Man U, national teams, Portugal, Iran, South Africa, Egypt. And so he has seen it all. And when him situation behind the answer was what the mass and Joe Busa question. And especially also in the first days, so who stayed in here? Gabby, he measured the answer that he was given. And he found say, Asemono or show cry say, Yabetimi, IBB. But also, say, for which reason, Tioka said, this is the most challenging job while picking in his coaching career. You don't be ABN and a dream because coaching Madrid is a Galacticos near Tomau.
Yeah.
I mean, South Africa, at the time, South Africa were doing well. I mean, Egypt, they had the good players.
And a number of time.
Iran too, he had the luxury of time to put together the team for the World Cups. But we should Black Stars here, Gabby. Many dance say. Your performance na nye ama your coach cry a pamon 2 months to the World Cup tournament. Enti situation na abano enye coach bi akọ won caliber na nkebeje because he doesn't have the luxury of time. In fact, every coach no one should any place ni nya interpersonal interaction in communication and I say omo should nya nkomodi die bia should nsia ansa na tournament maybe apart from the few friendly matches that we play. But maybe anko a year ago and about series of friendly matches, ya international break into him, Obiana is strengthening the weakness, coupled with the fact that there are a lot of issues in the current Black Stars team. As we speak, the face of the national team is even injured, Kudus Mohammed. The most informed Ghanaian player, Mijusumi West carefully, Antoine Semenyo, he's been misfiring for the Black Stars. Also goes Man City, Bournemouth, but about Black Stars are on employees. Jordan Ayew, he's going through a lot. Recently, Oba Nkoye, the team drop League One, Ghana, and Kefan the third division. Yes, sir.
Yeah, third division.
Thomas Partey, a lot of off-field issues, and he's probably not in the right frame of mind. Salisu, a key cog in Ghana's defensive setup. Honestly, work up, let me see. Right back, your injury concerns were honum, and to show when you not count time in no, and a human abajana. It is fair to suggest we are the most challenging job. The American audience here because all these jobs are picking apart from Egypt, they now fire September Anna January or the Egypt could do AFCON final Olusu to Senegal, and between September and January we count to 5 months and 4 months. September, October, November, December, January, 4 months. But Ghana the area by 2 months and he a World Cup. So I understand him when he says the most challenging job. Gabby, Carlos Queiroz, for me, is the most experienced manager you are pointing on.
Okay.
In terms of experience, clubs, national teams, nobody, not even from Grant, because Grant, now they didn't even a Chelsea stint before everybody AFCON final 2015.
Yeah.
But Queiroz, Anya him say, what about AFCON final other? Or the an African side are qualified for World Cup in the shape of South Africa. Even though he didn't coach South Africa in that World Cup tournament. And so, Sagana for fair experience to sort of calm the system after so to add the Kodia. Then for me, Queiroz was the best person if we are self available. Said they were self available so Jimano. And so, I agree 100% with his appointment. But you see, Gabi, Makase me must repeat him. The fact that we are appointing Carlos Queiroz does not mean Ghana guarantees success at the World Cup tournament.
Okay.
Yes, because football and your coach is incredible. Yeah, the footballers that deliver results together with coaching ideas and technical prowess. It will be sure Jumano could execute on the field of play. But here can't Black Stars team. Can catch you say there are a lot of issues. There are a whole lot of issues in the current Black Stars team. Our strikers are not scoring. And see, Queiroz was Jumaye. They cannot just say, Messi Ghana ni bia say, a World Cup ni yeko. Meaning say World Cup yeko ne die. Obiara ni daso. But let's measure our expectations because Ajumani soon. Yeko ne ko ye ma fine. Ba me tie. I'm not expecting too much from this team. Because team no jina brenje and a coach there na ba no. Only the luxury of time to prepare the team. Enti me yako World Cup ne ekoyia. I mean, hallelujah. But me raising the expectation. Boni beka cho say if you expect too much, you'll be disappointed. But who expected too much this year? Fantastic. And against the backdrop, so the last time you call World Cup tournament, group stage in free. Before the 2022 one in Qatar, you could pay more Brazil. And you check your Ghana in the last 16 years. And I say, since 2010, you call World Cup tournament and qualify from the group stage. 2018, Russia, we didn't qualify. So team number question, ye. The message Ghana Nibia say, curious our experience, our achievement. What I say, one akuku dam 4 and I hear Jima Pen or coach akuku dam 4, but his presence alone cannot guarantee success.
Me were two important question and person me bisha.
No, me the linky local, you know, sir, and now
a link to now what the TSM. The two most important question here say, your black stars yes in discipline na high. From coach interview now or no. If you saw the man to handle disciplinary records, our black stars you.
I mean, Gabby, in all honesty, coach or coachy, why assistant to Alex Ferguson? TNU, coach Real Madrid, or coach Mohamed Salah. I mean, let's be honest. Current black stars team 1 and level do Mohamed Salah. And who answer the man? Fantastic answer. Or say players who egos they are normal, but you try and use the egos to get the best out of them. Play away and discipline, but when you don't do it, they're in discipline.
Okay.
But how do you get the best out of the player? That is the most important thing. Mario Balotelli. Who do football? Yeah. But coaches were using him. Exactly.
Yeah.
You remember what he did? I think at the 2012 Euros tournament, European tournament or so. Fantastic performance. But then himself Balotelli. Oh, Subabia. I'm for be complain. He say Nisuba nye. It goes in the clash. And I think Carlos Cruz and managing the egos in the Black Stars camp. If indeed the players need in discipline issues if this coach coaching Mohamed Salah coaching some of the big stars world football who paying one of the greatest managers of all time Jumada in the dressing room at the time there were top players Paul Scholes, Nemanja, Vidic, all these players were no more Juma paying. Who are you, Antoine Semenyo? Who are you, Kudus Mohammed? I want to be in control. So a bus instantly discipline in the team there on the surface of the fact that we're experiencing all these players egos panel. I think a bit my players in Wajma.
After Braulo can we are not the last one account.
Gabi, Makacha will say when it comes to the argument, player by a local players argument, Yusuf Chipsa.
Yusuf Chipsa.
Exactly. When it comes to the argument of the local players quarter in the Black Stars team, Medica Kacho say it cannot make data sense. And they say Ghana League, a bad day crumble say. Ebi a player bit to say Abetamoa, Ubanyana statistics. Player bit say be Razak Simpson, Ubanyana statistics, and block shots, clearance, said I'm off near you. And see Emma open data that defending Ghana Premier League player Edding. But you see Gabi. See, a say Ghana League need that form. A developing league. Need to see a generated talk around the league. Need to step on it to harness something from it. Don't you think the Black Stars the conduit to do that?
They said the old days, Athens, 204, right? You call Athens now, you man know the Kwepa Pomo, you can't say Charles Taylor mo, now or more, Lucasina or more, yes, I don't know about the and some about who be Obesi Park and so make I commentator no, or say Charles Taylor who played for Asante Kodoko.
Gabi, just recently, Kata. See about 23 months squad at the Koyana. Obo the Nelafia Banedia, who the team men about
what the house in the bear.
Obo the lad Bohema, the team men about exactly, Yakafcon. Yeah, they which one lamp them the other one cut. So it's strategically young to say you lead in that form. And Black Stars the generated talk if we are finding them will be a kayasem near person man for you be a league in this one. It's not the Black Stars. And yeah, have a system say quota. Yeah, they a project in local players and you're bad. The Biameka say the local players quota no, it is not replacing meritocracy. No. I think it is rather projecting merit in the Ghana Premier League. Merit in the sense that football we are seeing different from any other local players. Even including coaches. I've had coaches in this scout or market me say Ghana Premier League player come they all scouting a heading because the data kwani nya heading. And to be a share obi obobo England, Spain, obobo amana you know. Oshana or special biases be mano. because ball no ball parking is on effect. But you had park no issues. Or you can play data, the statistics will be with ease by head and a bedding. And therefore, men can see a local place or meaning ball butcher and blasters players on no. But I'm saying that you just to see a league near developing league. Near per se a project in the year. Then strategically we can have a quota and wasn't can GF a policy input. Gabby, Minu tia chef football. Unti that say yes Brazil, no more for foreign coaches.
In fact,
the first foreign coach or coach Brazil national team. Exactly. Ancelotti, Ancelotti the first foreign coach Brazilian national team. It was their policy. And yes, Brazil coaches were the best coaches across the globe.
Yeah.
But that's the policy to project their technical brains. And say you have to be a Brazilian as a coach in the national team. And I won't begrudge them.
The American also say Italy as Italy so football na say enti omo national team coaches even clubs are away Italian Serie A no omo ba betwa quota of players bi a as a first 11 between two clubs no as a winya sa local players no
enti ga me dey say yempe quota football your four department goalkeeping defense midfield attack you see yem best players was that department in Ghana Premier League be dem World Cup 4 players World Cup na konye players nya na be gina agokwa man so akobobo enti your best goalkeeper Benjamin Asare onkobi your best defender yen selecting onkobi your best midfielder onkobi and your best striker we Ghana ni onkobi hey pass be encourage players to give their all in any case as our financial benefits because other than lad ne afie ba na call Qatar 2022 no FIFA ma clubs this can your local clubs ni nyan na me tell company say your league this can clubs ni nyeska ni yakobo World Cup tournament abenim say players ne do kono nyum nyene benya bia bo ebinum abo wata sa ba omo bo foreign leagues nti omo bia do omo bo why can't you drop them and give the local players the opportunity to play after our clubs to make money? What about that? It be say local players argument and data analysis. I know say data it cannot make data sense, but the FA as an association can have that policy. Say the market made Brazil example actually. Say the policy they say only 26 players na World Cup na move for local players. Now local players no department their best player ye the project a local league no. It's as simple as that.
Okay, Josia, Bramu fama me na fifi man feden so emna meto aso fama me. Another from Carlos Queiroz ne interview woni have here. Medizando esa say o baby but mama starting the same fan free so answer na do general thought on the interview no so atwaso. Now from the selection any style of play what's in the say on thinking about defense and attacking modalities in the do here pa say yembo game ni no they needed 3 points and they said in saka and no any idea a dead team no or the any team so you're starting from them now family bra from
Gabby said I think no it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago
I was watching very carefully and I picked Nhyira Nkitibia. I saw say it was very good about Penia, your friend Carlos Queiroz, the posture towards Ejuma Obeji for the Black Stars. They said you're okay. He's talking about being a winning coach. Now, Gabby, if you are coming to take a Black Stars job of this nature at this point, you have nothing else but to talk about winning. Because for a very long time, winning has not been synonymous with a Black Stars team. In the last major tournaments, the last 3 major tournaments, we have won only 2 games. Only 2. Gabby. And if you look at the teams, at this point, some of them are still holding that bragging right over us. You would want a coach who is coming in to take Ejuma Black Stars Ejumano to always come up and talk about winning, because if the priority is not winning, that mentality will not sink down even into the ideas or even into the players.
Okay.
Why? Because we are moving on from an Otoadoa. He struggled in the job he was doing. Ebekan say Otoado was not there in terms of tactics. he's experienced at various levels. So, what winning mentality is he coming, or what mentality is he coming with? That's the winning mentality. But Gabby, me question and say, how does he intend to win with a team that is still struggling to come together in terms of structure? We don't have it. We don't have it. Which is why I also agree with him when he says, Ejuma way one of the most difficult jobs are Wabeji. But it should also mean that he should have a strategy that he will use to, number one, win his games, and number two, overcome the challenges that he foresees will come with Ejumana, Black Stars Ejumana Wabeji. No. Gabby, somebody will ask me, say, what kind of strategy do I think he can implement? Already in Wabekasa, or say he has one of his teams monitoring the players abroad, and he also has another team monitoring the players locally. Yeah, and now you say Black Galas is for a training grounds. I don't know where he will be, whether he will be local or he will be with the international team. But at the end of the day, the most important thing will be how he will profile the players that he wants to call into the national team. At this point, me sure say Obeko for new player BR. Okay. Because of the time that he doesn't have. So, the players that we have called in the last few windows, the players are Otwadu ni Omaye Ejuma over the last few call-ups. Omo na also monitor omo. Because Gabby, you don't want to disrupt the chemistry of the team by going to call new players who maybe have not played Black Stars before. And expect, say, the winning mentality that you want to incorporate into the team will be achieved. It will not be achieved. In fact, it cannot be achieved. So if you're talking about winning, then it means that you need to work with the familiar materials, number one. Call them. I don't know how he will go about that. I don't know how you do his scouting. I don't know how Obe assemble his report. But let the familiar faces remain. But number two, he needs to exert his authority. Now, this is where the coaching comes in. Because authority will run the dressing room, and he knows that definitely because of his pedigree and where he has worked before, he will command the respect. And I want to believe, say, even though there are going to be egos clashing in that dressing room, everyone who listens to Carlos Queiroz will know for a fact that opinion say you cannot challenge him. So if you are walking into that dressing room and you want to work with Queiroz, you are going to accept and understand that he is the one who will who will give you instructions, and you need to obey those instructions. So call the familiar faces. Number two, let his authority speak. And Ahono and his experience, all the places that he has coached will come to bear. Because that is where we will see the difference between Otuado and Carlos Queiroz. Okay. Because Carlos Queiroz would want to approach the game with a certain mindset. And Utia Sama Okaye Pana, he's trying to demonstrate to the point that if there are 3 games at the World Cup in the group stage, I will say Panama. Okay. I'm not saying that Ghana will say this year say Panama the bit Let it not be that way.
No, but Joe, say Ghana team here ko World Cup.
Panama.
In group stage, any teams made it. Any England recently World Cup no was it semi-finals no drew. Yeah, Croatia former ex-finalist. Omo do final in Chebia. Ah? Yeah. Panama don't see a show. Ghana team you Panama. How do we then fancy our chances against Croatia and England? They make what I say. The Panama dey rankings no was change, but also me and target was a show. Now to say Panama who go to England and as a Croatia.
Bazando they make and say. Let's have that mentality, but let's not. My own one who said we are better than Panama. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? He wants to get the winning start from Panama, and luckily they are our first game. So if the winning mentality he's trying to bring across can be met with that Panama game, what it tells you is it will help the boys to prepare mentally for the games against England and Croatia. Don't forget, Carlos Queiroz has just 4 months. It's a very short-term contract. So he's working in terms of psyche for that first game against Panama. That is where we need to see the boys play the kind of football we want to see. Okay. Yes, only Mexico, but he will play that game with the Black Galaxies. So I'm not expecting so much from that game. June 2nd, we would have seen a Carlos Queiroz team assemble for the first time. Then it will give us an idea how we play the Panama game. But the MMA can say, Panama game no must be a World Cup final to Ghana players no, on that day, where they will try and say to themselves that after all the troubles that we have gone through in the last few tournaments, share from 2019, Yako AFCON, we exited in the round of 16. Share 2021 AFCON, we exited in the group stage. Look at 2023 AFCON, another exit from the group stage. Share 2022 Qatar, another group stage exit. So if you are going to play a 2026 FIFA World Cup, after we had a very rocky qualification, even look at the African Cup of Nations competition, young qualify. So the Black Stars has become more or less a team that cannot achieve a lot. But if that will be changed in terms of the mindset, the perception, and how we approach this tournament, it means the Carlos Queiroz about winning, no, it needs to be met on that game against Panama. So the identity that we are going to shape up for the tournament must come with the idea that that game against Panama would reinforce Adia Okan press conference and they say he's a winning coach. That's what we want to see on that day.
Okay.
And Gabby, another thing I'm the way he spoke about the egos clash in the dressing room, no, I really like the way he approached it. When we say, I can tell for a fact that at least after the announcement came saying he was appointed Black Stars coach, he has been doing his own research. He has been doing his own notes. He has gone to maybe watch a few videos. He can get a glimpse or an understanding of how the Ghana team is at this point. And your business our question, the way he answered it tells you that he is not in a position to come and fight with anyone. This is a short-term contract. He is coming in to do a certain job for which there's a likelihood say in Penifo Ekachene say we will give you the opportunity to continue with the Black Stars. And with a new manager coming in, what you want to establish is a relationship with everybody you work with, especially the players. Say you will get the best out of them. Because give you examples. In the dressing room now, the players that you think or that we think dressing room, but we know them. We know them. So if you are a Carlos Queiroz and you have come into the Black Stars, and because Obia Kacha will say we are harding, so you don't work well with that person, then it means you are even failing from the start.
Okay.
You need to understand that irrespective of whatever behavior that any player possesses, you as a manager who is coming in on a short-term basis, you need to get the best out of them. Because for all you know, no, Ghana for no, we all have our reasons why we support certain players. But the fact say no cutting no keke no. That is why you are hearing a lot of people who are advocating for the inclusion of Andrea Yu.
Yeah.
He has his flaws. He has his own things that Abia Okoye or Camp and people have spoken about it. But Gabby, do you know what it will mean for Carlos Queiroz to call Andrea Yu? Say, I know all your shortcomings, but I will need your presence in the team. I'm just giving an example. But you can imagine what it will mean. Perhaps it could go in a positive light for your Black Stars players, or it could also help public perception. Say Otoado or say doesn't want to work with Andrea Yu, no. Carlos Queiroz he has found a way to patch up with him, and he has assured himself Omoko World Cup now he will give him a certain role. When he plays that role very well, it will help the fortunes of the team. I'm happy with Queiroz and how he approached the press conference, but a lot will depend on how he will implement a good strategy to call the players I'll be from for the World Cup.
Now, maintaining some of assistants are now more back to Ado in or no setup. Do you think say a good idea in the future?
Say this conversation was not at the Insembebre AP. In person can be, but I like the fact that will be Sammy because what I will say about this and say if Carlos Queiroz is coming to take a Black Stars Juma air temporary, Now his immediate target is to go to the World Cup and put up a certain performance for the Black Stars and for Ghana as a country. Gabby, don't you think it is wise? Say, Omo more familiar with the team would work or should work with him to get the best out of it. Isn't that the wisest thing to do?
Okay.
Me person me call political side of the issues because I don't know. Mahu say generating a different kind of conversation about competency levels of me person me call kasa asem. What I am saying is that John Peso, Desmond Ofe, right, Fatah Dauda, these three have been with the Otoado backroom. Fine, fair enough. Otoado has been sacked. The expectation is say Yempom will be in fuel and let Kuros do his work. But in terms of chemistry, in terms of continuity, in terms of say Yempe Omwa. We are familiar with the form. We can say he needs to maintain the same group of players that have been called previously. You cannot do that alone.
Okay.
Onono Obano or the Josesa and Eba as his assistant, or the Gaspar Eba as his goalkeeper's trainer. Right? He needs to morph this team that he's bringing with the already existing people, so that they can get the team to work well. Because Gabi, 1 year is any year.
Is it because of the short time now? What kind of
that is why I'm saying that.
Oh, okay.
If it was long term, maybe that's a different conversation.
Okay.
But because of the target that is ahead of you and the competition that is at stake, or the thing that you have to play, competition you have to play, don't disrupt the chemistry of the team by letting Cross say it will take more time for them to get the desired results if you do that. But John Pencil is there. He has worked with the team. Ofe is there. He's a brilliant guy. And he knows how to profile the players pretty well. He can help Kuros to do the selection. And I say, oh, Yembose, this player can give us this. It is wise. Say you have these guys around to also serve as an advisory council to Aya Kuros. It's imagine, General.
Okay, Steve, Bradon Zoom Famami, yeah.
Carlos Queiroz was destined to fail. So I'm far to the backroom staff no be ankana adwuma no ho a. Kamijide senka e bi anko nam kwanso o failure no sa.
Oh, okay.
And Joshua rightly put it. We are not in normal times. And ideally anka coach dey be for adwuma no be 4 months, 5 months, 1 year before the tournament. Obenya kwa the backroom staff aba I am familiar with the players. Obako international break. Only players ni be di dwuma. But Gabi, we have less than 50 days to the World Cup tournament. Yenimre. And just like your tournament, that's a head coach. The big coach near Pamona. They see Ivory Coast. They are match fire. Your Pamu coach na. Your Kofa coach in Frabon. Say maso me coach timuno. The woman have been amana coach. The American what I say. And it is only fair say 60 days to the World Cup tournament. International break crab before the World Cup tournament. It is hard to know to the backroom staff no. There are 1 or 2 people who are you maintain woman, not the also they but make home.
Okay.
And I will buy and was say Black Galaxies. And now he was at Accra Sports Stadium monitoring their training session. And Omokwa Ediwa Buchiri monitor Ghana players. Maybe so how say monitor local players no. To Jumadi ne bi no. I think the wisest thing in this discussion here, yeah, FNN Carlos Cruz aye and it's a momentary or to the backroom staff members maybe.
Okay.
And see Kajumani be diamano. Because 2 months to the World Cup tournament, you can't expose a new face to a different terrain. You can't do you will not be fair to him. So no boy FNN Carlos Cruz and Kasabaso. Uti Henry here was say Cruz any FNN Jatum. So no, Yemfa ebinimunshim. Nani nebeboa. So now John Pencil, that's one of fair. Fatah Dauda. They know the body language of these players. They've worked with them for the past few years. And to when the player coach saying that here, 2% saying that here. No, I advise so much such.
Okay.
I was not for the argument say you move completely. No. Now you're building a whole new technical setup. I bring him say coach in only time. They make an here. And so for me that decision, I agree. It is up to this one of fair, John Pencil and Fatah Dauda to convince the coach and the GFSA Jumadi the man so I hear a lot of things going on and I don't Pencil won't deserve it. I don't have a problem when you disagree, but to the extent say a bit more disrespectful and when you could, it's not true. They cannot say.
Okay.
National team, you need a bit of attachment of an old player in the technical team. Hey, different from club side. And Kawas Abai, on coaching Ghana that minimum because Ghana Wabahada. It's your old player with team Nim. Yeah, Nim Wababo widely traveled. No, but in India advice coaching when it comes to how players behave at the national team level. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's been young supporting careers. Now say the medical can young consumer measure your expectation.
You better me course on better ma me Emma Manse Rural Bank. Amanse Rural Bank say open say when the bank be di dwuma na when e manyina koya. Amanse Rural Bank na say when you di enkomo. Esan say e ba na savings account, current account, susu account, fixed deposit omo enso e ni nyina e wa Amanse Rural Bank. Na loans ne dey commercial loans, overdrafts, e ba na salary loans, both government and private workers ni Nampacho, woman the nina be mamo pension loans and a ban semi-sulo na and a top up and also on Sabeka a ban microfinance loan. Nina Amansia a Raban PLC Anna Edi Emo and T and almost any flexible payment and not just almost at the MSS Ukajilo na interest on Kumebi and not just no Ebebahom a ban digital bank and also ATM service here Juma and Afi Ghana Pay service here Juma mobile phone wallet for banks and also here Juma and a mobile money service here Juma e-switch here Juma we pay USSD money now transfer ni nyina here 20 and almost any enkomo na omo enyo so omo head office number abetima fresh so 0247 200013 we hear complaints be now person ya and also betimi afra 0501646414 na one Amanse Rural Bank enso edi enkomo woko Antwa Kroma head office ho na wo ana afi branch ni bi manso woko manso nkwanta manso adubia manso data no bekwai eno ho ubenya bi afi nso anwan kwanta eno nso mo akrokawe ni nyina ubenya Amanse Rural Bank wo mo so branch ni bi na no madi djuma wo ye electrician na person wire dan sankablo wo mo wire se yo mo dia be na bekamfo de amasanse ewa hodi ye pa ana we ne energy commission agiatum enya fi na ba wa ya odan no akwakonya problem bia na ofi mpa akopese e ba bese sankablo wo mo cable no every 1.5 horsepower you can say 1.5 millimeters any 2.5 millimeters 8 millimeters any 16 millimeters ni nyina ebi ewo wo mo akate na eban flexible cables any switch any socket wo mo di multi lamp holders ni nyina bi aba sankablo no number sabetimi no madi nkomo ewo so 053 480 0832 na when a sound cable edi enkomo key distributor no Ghana ha Kumasi PowerPoint electricals and near do market wo ana wonsa enso ebeka omo can force eba make say do na eno na etu oya obi ase but we obi a oto ase atatwetwo na attractive things pa na hawa and you can force eba make sure the make for the amount ba say we liver support no na uhia edo betimi ama liver na hodi ye pa infections e betu ase any chronic diseases ni na can for the eba make sure ana ebebo ye pa ire so one bottle no ya obo sa hodi na enso aba Kumasi de baby bebre fedments woko kwale na aka any have me from asapidank any gilly good pharmaceutical also ubenya bi aton nkoko hillside pharmacy sunyane moze pharmacy konango polena esapon ana afebre kum newborn number sabetime eno mo so edi nkomo e so 0245 455 740 na wanya can force heba make sure insure for vuvu party no eba so den na vuvu party no on the 16th of May ya na vuvu party no eba so insure from your forecourt ya ana ya di vuvu party no e di ebro enya sam ketua bra ni enyere yenidi ene team enti we a restaurant ana se choba operator bi na o pese vuvu party won so oba ni enyina ne kama no me sabe tima first so 024 5594425 na wonso wetime enya ya mema revise Faith Homeopathic Center womo eso yasena difufu party edi ebro yade nyina umu etu asese ye weni anase wachini etutu ye diabetes and also hepatitis B sexually transmitted disease ni nyina no Faith ebehwe etu ni nyina se de amam esa so me de machines won so edi aba ubetimi ni o madi nkomo ewo 0244 583859 na uni Faith Homeopathic enso edi nkomo kuma se ahenema kokopin ana wo monso ewo Medimosis clinic and herbal center enso so yasene atese nya semkwetu akra na Greenwich coastal so ese apiedu ha na wo ewo nam bia wo pe bia no wode wadi chem ewo Greenwich coastal wobenya nam bia wo pe se ne turkey wings na se tilapia wo pe beef fish red ya kan se red fish ni nyina ebi ho wo pa akokɔ nam a ebi ho ponche nam sausage ni nyina omutombi ewo Greenwich coastal ewo apiedu no me sabe timi no madi nkomo ewo so 0530 789990 na omonso ahwe adi osuye pa Edufly wo paso otukwan a ene ye Edufly eba na consultancy power kwantro mudi a ene ye Edufly wo mu ana ebehwaye ni nyina edi amount wo paso okosua de ewa manane Edufly ebia eba degree anase diploma anase masters PhD ana paso okoye ewa manane package papa no ewo Edufly ana ehwe na wajo so na wadu enso etukwan ene active tour package ni say no started in September December 2026 ya ene ade say 7 days Europe tour baso the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Luxembourg, Germany ni nyina ye de eko ana 10 days Europe tour no so ha ye do ekwenti ene Edufly enso ehwi emume no me sabe timi no madi nkomo so 0596 385 878 na wonso wanyomo and Dampon Pharmacy building second floor Danyame na wonso ubenya Edufly na omo etimi abom pacho yahwene yamfa mu course no kaka na muso no mudimi emra dwumadi so na enya kamanti mama yese manya me first caller ahoma no so meso oba na eja waye ntietiam na wunianso etimi abaso bi se na ebe ya yebetimi afa course no do 90 avide yebia ahoma no edama so mbetimi aba na fi modemade nche edi aba dwuma die so Nhyira Power Sports so na eguso a yede nkoba nyina edi danwo ewo hihia wodo nyina enso eso okay the chance messages kakran so ewa ha mehwena mayi enso edi amamo na etimi aboye kama pa ewo show no so eso okay mami hwene say memfa ayinfa mamu aya na mo complain say numbers no eya munya no 03220 8385 okay 03220 83581 83582 83583 na wafre aba ahoma no so 03220 83581 83582 83583 anase 83584 na wonso wafre aba ahoma no so na wonso wadwenkyere de aba dwumadi so but my birthday kakran so ewa ha okay we dem so fafo from me hello
Gabby Thuram
yes boss
aduma
da ase
kojaba nkuni peko jitaba nkuni
okay kwajo mami ntie we
da sisi ni coach ya yanya no kami be pa kakotone ha ni ada team sanaka mo press special mo nyire mo ho na ka kunya we anka bie ye from Rastars ni na fe da ye a coach be no be personal player say go on team am born homodin so born homodin a obefrew ye na teacher higher say am from where higher but say higher say the most mo kan mo nyire mo na de o say mo ye no mo nya na mo ye am mo bi me da sipi
okay me so be da say ma me fa wo fro ahoma so hello
Gabby
yes boss me ba cho wodi ni be bia kasa free
don't phobia me kasa free to no oh apa
oh okay mami ntie we
that's it. I'm changing the care. I was someone at the moment. I mean, if I can't see it, nice, Sebi, yeah, so much or moon yomo. Of course, where they start our order mobile there, or Monia Kulu. So, we are in quarter.
Oh, Kafra, Mensafa of Hello,
Gabby Thuram, the foreigner.
Yes, sir. Now, Empomer. Oyibo mami nti o
Odaru mebru na mi Nhyira chema od no kwakwa pia koka asantima koka na honorable amo kuma ke so asanti regent secretary foreigner the American say no say you see you be jump ball obo la ma si carlos kures that blanche ni ball but etimi oyibo boatini de we were shemu say local players na don baka black star team no de you be jump there only abetamwa then I bet I'm more fans on one place. I must say, striker. It's immediately perfect. The 2 slots yet. You did rub last time. Not much that say. Never jump into the fatal without that say. Open the opportunity. Now, almost under Carlos Kureza, almost 7 dignity, honesty, and then loyalty. You man a blaster and follow to my player.
Okay.
Go, blaster, go!
You will me that say, Mammy caught me next caller. So, hello.
Gabby Thuram ba kope.
Benji.
Yeah, Gabby Thuram. We will be waker. Mama Barcelona because they will go juma. But what do in fancy Seria? Ubam fancy Seria dia. In fact, you play from Yaguro. Wadauruma. Namitia MC. Akman will be a just out. One abo wisdom was a woman. Okumkom. Coach Nobam. A sense of Ghana years the first. And I will be send the 1 year. On one person in the office and 1 year. Nothing with the political on one fan. I didn't say. With me, with my Juman. Be I said, be a man for the Ponon in the Juman. That's what the answer I don't see. Abutulam, Benji, in sense to say we are father.
Okay. Mr. Weda say, my main comment anyway. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, our boss.
Gabby Thuram.
Yes, sir.
Ulia kwa cosmetic and get a free Martin Chazo.
Kwaku, Mpumi de Mamintiwe.
Oh, never pardon. Omar Fabia Cherry from your panazo from Gizay.
Yamia don't bokopa.
I'm saying that I can't do you for Mamentiano. Na Mencha Franchard Malcolm on Abukel. Now we are Blassa, it's in your memory and Yakuti for. I don't know, it's a look up place, room you good Christ for my from Obano. It's a man and you look up and woman and you look up place and note me. Enya bi be flap sala abu aka bu ne babo ne abakọ ne ko yewe man ye dum bako dia enye lu be be saba do fa look up place ne ko na tatwa me da se baba
kwa ku me da se ma me ko be ne halo
yo fa se ma no
me di usu original Nigeria
da no for wa hene
for wa hene we biti me
I mean, what I know with the Minata one because I know Yamisha. This for suffer with the man, the make it here, and you say, you could job it. Omunya would say, Nahobra, Semano, Omunya Hobra, Semana, would the other co baby to do baby, I yes, anybody. Yamenka or wine.
Okay, oh, I made that say, meant to say hello. Monfa baby, Numfa Mammy, hello.
Gabby Thuram. Get fall in about pay.
Anane.
I'm about the most beautiful. You and the paid amateur boss, OKK. Now, Gabby, and I asked my boy against Newcastle. Only Castle, I said 2 matches, they're losing like 2 home and away. But in the first time, at my start, they really a form. And I'm 15 million on someone idea, Newcastle form. And the other talent person, they show me for Papa and something in the league, and top good team. And she asked my part, you come to entire boys. I'm a from Piazza. I can't see the new country, the brief from that tray. Oh, I can't look at the master.
Okay.
There's a top building. Now, I be one so only that to leave that a leak in the church and twice home and away. And to leave food so much, I just say, Gabby, what's all Waka? Let's come here, come by it. We just go to my boss without him.
Yeah, that's it. My last call, and yes, sorry, Jumadi, hello.
And I'm going to say,
Yami, I don't walk up and I was way.
Nacho Obanka Bontina so hadia La Paz Asungio Hapa. Yeah, Premier Razak ya the whole Ghana, don't want our premier experience man.
Razak my mintie.
Minia, Nankopo Nshiramo, me tonka the ama Miami Krum Kwada so Agrekins ma, Mishia Mebusia for more winner, Minamofidi, Minimisens Madi, Ubieti. Na Minia, Uti, coach in Waba, Yamanakwaba, ya the support to more than better energy, Ampa. Na me person be someone some as someone as two no omoye adwuma o to other person no omoda ka team no ho ana
me ansa na account is here John Pinto Desmond Affair any fatal data pen account is here.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so o to other some now oye na starting coach no o can be we are press conference one so for me this year am na can be say and the team they have a player run back home. Those okay.
Yeah.
Position there.
I don't know your problem, no.
Coach. Coach said that your own position will go. I think what I know. Never person will be on the and you also say, coach, I
Razak Razak baby we dey cry mental voice you
John Pentino and this assistant 2 assistant 1 no what we go make you say sport news about team the American sanko for mo we here bi so dey na go formula
me da say
master
but I say young friend my dear Nancy Akobi Mreku ede abi won ha show no ede bro eja chama ya baba fa na kunya ntime ende abusia ya sorry dwumadi so beta we de Kobi wa birthday ntidi mami yi mfi o se na be ya bedbo anya sa wa baba ye ayi Jeff fa yi ko poku fa mame ene ya nkase ye kwadopoku de ayi wiase nyina kwadopoku no atonsu market ana kwadwo na ya kwadopoku birthday kwado minim bia we de kwado kotwa no kwado happy birthday nyame shop na onye wakoma so ade nyina mfamo the way we see ni pantam kitahudie siti no nyame hweso no mfa wusira mfama fidie ma de woni obia and kwado happy birthday atosu market ana wonso wo fa Pauli fama me ayi yankaza ye social media ene Pauli birthday Mr. Anane na Mr. Anani birthday Pauli TH di pa nyamisha wide na omo we dey enya from the way so abo kiki dia anka no pay we ya as kwezi bra na birthday ye kodi no ayi nanka aye commenti happy birthday enko emfa emma Pauli social media eze di enso eno no enwati the last one also from me fa happy birthday emfa emma Mrs. Rebecca Danso ene ewa woda we free one kasa wukunu o be Mr. Patrick Pambo ewo UK wase yamo awodapa na okato so do ye pa nyame entobesu pa emfangu wa woda so na enye from anti Rebecca happy birthday abusia yede wese anim say Kobi Mreku ede abi wa ha show na airtra so dia my friend Gabby Thuram the forward entertainment now to obi anka abusia da se ne yebeba na yeba betra so ede ma fifi man fred na afi Steve Zando Joshua Olotunso otene Nkadi Costa ene ayi ye kan say kwabena ana tese bobo adwuma na tia ede emaye ende abusia yede